Round one. Fight!
The whole thing!
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Team Ranker Fights. Sorry for the abrupt ending of the intro. That's just how it's going to be for today. But I am your host, Jordan, the movie hero Anderson, or AKA you might see a movie that I like from this list based on my character name there. But this is going to be best action movies from 2004, and let me tell you the action movies for the 2000s are stacked. Like, you thought 90s had a lot. I mean, like, hang on, like the 2000s are stacked. But the problem is that there's only a finite amount of really good ones. Like I'd say 10. I mean, you could go as many as 20. When I was looking over the list, there might be a little argument there. But the rest of them maybe not so good. But we'll talk about it. All movies are subjective, so we'll see what everyone has to say. But I'll go ahead and I'll introduce our crew for tonight. I'll start with my co-host, Austin Pez Howell. How's it going?
What's up? Pew pew / / Let's do it.
Yeah. Sounds good. We also have joining us Mr. Steven Shepard. How's it going?
Hey, yeah. I actually think there's a lot of great movies, but
yeah, and we always like having you back because I feel like you've seen like more action movies than a lot of the people in the community. So yeah, you're a good one to have for these action movies, Steven. But, and then also we have joining us Mr. Steve Mesa. How's it going?
What's up, people? Party people. I'm ready to rank some action movies because I've seen everything except for 3. So let's go.
Oh, nice. So maybe you've seen the most in here. We'll see. But we also have joining us Richie, Nemo, Goodacre. How's it going?
Hey man, yeah, to be here. We'll see what happens. 2000s, a week, a decade, but there's some okay movies here, so see what happens.
Yeah. There's definitely some strong ones, but I mean, more not so good ones, I'd say. But we also have Malcolm Lay. How's it going, Malcolm?
It's going good. I've seen a few of these, and yeah.
Nice. Well, Austin is the coach. You want to break it down how it's going to work, and I'll bring up the tier chart.
Yeah, so Tier Ranker Fights, we go up and down with this panel that we have here, and everybody's going to get a chance to nominate a movie from the list. We got plenty of movies of which to nominate from. Obviously, we're not going to talk about all of them, not even half of them probably. But yeah, everybody will get a chance to nominate something, and what you'll do is you'll take a movie from the list, nominate it for any tier you'd like. We have S tier, obviously, is the best of the best, the top of the top. We want to try to have 10 in the S tier by the end of the show, whether that's 10 straight in the S tier or we have to pull some from the A tier or whatever we have to do, we'll do it. But you can nominate anything. If you want to nominate something in the trash pile for the F tier, you go right ahead. But S, A, B, C, D, and F, just like grades in school. We'll go up and down the ladder. Everybody, nominate it, about a minute reason why, and then we'll go around the horn, and everybody else will give their own personal letter rankings for that movie, and then we'll come to a consensus, kind of an average, and see where it ends up. We go for roughly about 2 hours. We kind of see where the where everything's at around then. Sometimes we go a tad longer. Sometimes we wrap it up right there. We have a Hail Mary kind of last chance round for you to nominate some S tier stuff at the last second and any last minute shout outs. And there has been stuff, absolutely. There always seems to be at least something that makes it in the S tier at the last minute. So don't get your hopes down. If it doesn't come up during the main round, it can always come up in the Hail Mary last chance round. And that's kind of how it works. So about a minute apiece, everybody goes around the horn and let's do it.
Yeah. And bear with me 1 second. I closed the wrong tab, so I still have it here, but it's just I got to bring up the tab. It'll take 1 extra second, but
yeah, tonight we'll be covering 2000 to 2004, as we said, because a lot of these decades, much like the 90s and such, were stacked with action movies, just action movies all over the place. So yeah, we'll see what happens as we go through here and see what everybody likes and doesn't like and everything in between. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, as always, we have a tier for not an action movie. If you have an argument, maybe one of these movies is not quite an action movie, and also haven't seen, because we need at least 3 people to have seen it for it to make it into the S tier, because we only allow 10 in the S tier. The overall goal at the end is to come up with the definitive top 10, maybe 3 honorable mentions, and then we will go from there. All the rest of the tiers can have an unlimited amount. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So.
All right, yeah. So yeah, that's kind of how it works. So as we slid over to the side there, Malcolm Blay, you will be up first, sir. So please feel free to nominate any movie from the list.
Yeah. So let me bring it down here, and I put the list just so you guys all are have a reminder that it's in the group chat. So the full list for that will just be over there. I figured that's the easiest way to do it, so you can look over there.
Yeah. But pretty much any pseudo action movie from 2000 2004 is on here somewhere. So just name to your heart's desire, and we'll get it up there. Malcolm, what do you got?
So I'm going to go for probably one of my favorite Quentin Tarantino movies. I'm going to go for Kill Bill, Volume 1. It's tough. It was really tough for me to choose between them because I like them both equally. But I think when it comes to action movies, I think the Kill Bill movies do a really good sort of impersonation, like a martial arts and that, and you can really tell like that Quentin Tarantino has a lot of inspiration from like martial arts and all that kind of movies. So I'll definitely S tier for that.
Okay, so Malcolm's nominating Kill Bill Volume 1 for S tier.
Yeah,
Richie, what do you say about Kill Bill Volume 1?
Can we just put the second one up there as well? I mean, they're kind of a
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I might make an argument against the second one, but let's just talk about Volume 1.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, see, that's what I was curious about. That's why I had them split. I kind of put them together, but I was curious if there's anyone that maybe didn't. So
I'll talk about it when it gets to me, but you go ahead.
I'm kind of glad Malcolm nominated it because I like hearing him say Kill Bill. No, it's all good. But also that's a really good movie. I would have nominated it at some point if it had been brought up. I think it's the better of the two. I think it's fantastic. I can't put late, but yes, definitely S tier.
All right.
okay, well, this is really random. I gotta take a personal thing really quick. Okay, Richie, say the word aluminum foil. This is something that I heard from the other day.
Aluminum foil.
Aluminum foil.
Aluminium foil.
See, yeah, you say aluminium foil. You don't say aluminum foil. Sorry, that's really random. How about Malcolm? How do you say aluminum foil? I'm just curious.
Aluminium foil.
Oh, okay, you're a little closer to the American, but yeah, like I think it's cool how you guys pronounce it. You put like an extra I in there, which I think that's how the world does it. Maybe Americans are just weird. That had nothing to do with the show. I just wanted to throw that in there because I heard
Kind of gags me.
I thought that was a British
Well, I
thing.
heard-
I guess
heard
it's
Jim Jeffries on his podcast. He pronounced it, and I was just like, "Whoa!" Like that's an interesting one. One of the whole thing of like how they spell it. But anyways, we're off on a tangent here. But I thought that was just kind of a random, interesting
All right.
thing. But anyways,
Getting back to Kill Bill, Mr. Mesa.
Yeah.
What do you think about Kill Bill Volume 1?
Just to move this along, just so we can do this on the fast train. I agree that it belongs on the S tier. Moving on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Short and sweet to the
Well-
point, Mr. Mesa. Steven, what do you think?
Steven.
See, I'm glad it's Volume 1 because Volume 1 is definitely an action movie. Volume 2, I think there's an argument to be made that it's not as much of an action movie. But yeah, Volume 1 is definitely S tier.
I guess that boss is going to talk about.
Yeah, no, I would make that argument that volume two actually has quite a lack of action in that movie. There's really only one real like fight scene in that movie, and that's the one between him and Daryl Hannah, like in the trailer, and that's like the one fight, and then you don't really get much of a fight between her and Bill. I mean, it lasts about 10-15 seconds. So yeah, this is the more action oriented one. You have the big scene at the end at the restaurant club, whatever it is. It's like a 20-minute sequence. I mean, where she's fighting like the crazy 88s, and you get some other sprinkled action scenes kind of throughout the movie. This one's more action oriented. This is the one I would put in the S tier. If you were to bring up you can bring up Volume 2, but I'm not going to rank it as high because of the lack of action.
Yeah. Well, I might be kind of the same way. I mean, I do kind of seem like together in some ways, but it's kind of almost two mindsets that I have about it, because like if you were to not split this up and just leave it as one whole thing, I just say it's an action movie that's way too long. but when you split them up, I think the first one's way more of an action movie. I mean, there's action from like almost beginning to end. The second one, maybe not as much action. So, but the first one's awesome. Like I was a little late to the Kill Bill party. I only saw Kill Bill earlier this year for the first time, and it really knocked my socks off. Like Uma Thurman kills it, and that's no wonder why Quentin Tarantino keeps putting her in his movies, and so because she deserves it. So yeah, an easy S tier, and the action was just like some of the best like action, like choreographed, but also written, because they have a whole story that kind of like plays into it. So yeah, S tier, easy.
Okay, so there you have it. Kill Bill Volume 1 stays up in the S tier, and we'll go to Richie for your first pick, sir.
All right, I'll go with I mean, Jordan talks about this franchise a lot, but I'll go with my favorite Spider-Man movie, Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2.
Right.
Spider-Man 2 rules. I think it's a great one of the better comic book movies. One of the better comic book movies of all time. I just love it. I love Doc Ock. I think he's one of the best villains I've had, and I just think it hits the mark in every way possible. So yeah, it's definitely S tier.
All right, sounds good. We'll go to Steve Mesa. What do you think of Spider-Man 2?
Yes, I believe this. I agree with Richie. This belongs in the S tier. Top 5 comic book movies of all time. Second best Spider-Man movie. This is where Raimi stretched out his horror chops in comic book movies before we saw Doctor Strange. So yes, I agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. What do you think, Steven? Yeah.
Okay, so I like Spider-Man 2, but I'm not as big on Spider-Man, not just the movie, but just as a character, as most people. I think the movie is good. I think the train sequence is great. I do think Alfred Molina is great. But overall, I like the movie. I don't love it. I would probably go with B.
Really?
Ooh,
My God.
all right. Ooh, all right.
Owen Wilson. Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. Yep. Exactly. Austin.
I'm in the S camp. Yeah, I think Spider-Man 2 is my personal favorite Spider-Man movie of all time. I think all the fight sequences between him and Doc Ock are actually really well choreographed, really incredible. They hold up. That subway sequence or train sequence, whatever you want to call it, holds up, and it's great. It's even referenced in Into the Spider-Verse, of the Jake Johnson one, kind of sort of playing that version of Spider-Man. But yeah, all the choreography is excellent. I love that sort of horror sequence Steve was talking about in the surgery room. Like that sequence is amazing. It's great to watch. And yeah, this is top-notch stuff. This is Raimi at his absolute peak with the Spider-Man series. So I'm going to go S tier as well.
Yeah, I mean, if you know me, I'll just keep it short. I'm a diehard Spider-Man fan. He's my favorite comic book hero. So, and Spider-Man 2 is my second favorite Spider-Man ever made. So, S tier, easy.
Okay, and Mr. Malcolm.
Yeah, I mean, I like Spider-Man 2. I think it is one of the best Spider-Man movies out there. For me though, I wouldn't go as far as it is. For me, I think I haven't watched it in a while. But it's just one of those ones that has got a bit dated for me. But I'd still go A. So
All right. So
Well, take Brigade anyway.
right.
Well, despite that,
well,
it still has 4 S votes, an A and a B, and usually 4 at least guarantees it at least a spot for now in the S tier. 4 is usually a pretty much a hard guarantee unless everything else is like Fs or what is. And if we do have one of those things where if we get other ones that are kind of clean sweeps and it's like right on the border, it could get knocked. But for right now, it'll stay up there.
Yeah. Well, Steve,
Also, the subway sequence has Joey Diaz in it. So anyway.
Yeah, it does.
oh yeah. I never thought about that. Yeah, if I think about it, yeah, he's in there. But
all right, Steve, what do you want to nominate, sir?
All right, I would like to nominate what I consider Steven Spielberg's best film of the 2000s. That would be Minority Report.
All right.
Minority Report. It's just has everything you want in a sci-fi movie. You have chase sequences. You have it's basically a long form chase sequence. That yes, you don't have too much of a hand-to-hand combat over here, but we'll talk about more about those hand-to-hand combat movies later on. But I wanted to throw my nomination to Minority Report. I think it carries one of the best Tom Cruise performances of all time. Has a great ensemble that includes Colin Farrell and Samantha Morton, Max von Sydow, and just this is my favorite Spielberg movie of the 2000s. If anything, it's probably my maybe top 5 Spielbergs of all time, possibly. Besides all the classics, but that's how I think it is. So I believe Minority Report belongs in the S tier.
Okay. Yes, so nominating Minority Report. Steven, what do you think?
Yeah.
It's in my top 5 Spielberg and probably my favorite Tom Cruise movie, period. So it's an easy S for me as well.
Yeah. Sounds good. Austin, what do you think?
Yeah, I'd like Minority Report more and more every time I go back to it, despite the fact that I think the last 10 or 15 minutes is not the strongest, but I can't ignore the first, hour and 40 minutes or whatever the case may be. I can't ignore that. And, it essentially is a futuristic sort of version of The Fugitive once the plot kicks off. And it's probably one of the best versions of that as far as, a futuristic version of The Fugitive. And if we're going to have The Fugitive in the S tier of the early 90s, which we did, I think sort of the sci-fi equivalent to it with Tom Cruise here probably should be. It's one of the strongest movies on the list, so I'll go S tier. Yeah.
Yeah, so I would agree with that 100%. Like I was a little curious to see what you guys would actually think of that, so I'm glad everyone's so high on it because I am too. I think that Minority Report's great. Like it's a really creative idea of just like predicting crimes before they actually happen, and there's some cool stuff with not only Tom Cruise's character, but also Colin Farrell too. And then also, Austin, we talked about character actor the other day. You got Peter Stormare in there. Yep. And being the guy that like helped him with his eyesight, getting his like
the creepy underground eye doctor. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's a lot of character actors if you watch that like pop up. I won't go through them all, but it's a pretty stacked cast, and it's just fun to just see this idea of the future and how they deal with criminals and everything. It kind of has a little bit of a twist at the end. So yeah, I'll agree. I'll say S. Yeah.
Okay. Going down to Malcolm.
Yeah, I guess I can continue down the hot take train because I do not like Minority Report.
Every party has a poop.
I think the acting in it is good, but that's about where it ends for me. I just think the storyline's very convoluted and hard to understand. I'm just not a big fan of it. I actually get bored in it every time I watch it. It's a D for me.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Come on. Like the movie always is like a D tier Spielberg. This is not D tier Spielberg. Come on now.
Yeah.
Come on.
1941.
Yeah, 1941. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah. But
Richie, you can save it. We'll see.
Yeah. Bridge of Spies is D tier for me. Anyway, I don't.
Yes.
Yeah. I do love Minority Report. I think it's great. Yeah, and I think the burden of, even if it's cool that they can predict crimes before that happens. The workload you have to fucking do because how many crimes are around them.
Yeah.
That'd be vital. You wouldn't get sleep. Oh no, there's something another. Oh, yeah. Anyway, you'd probably just have to. Anyway, yeah, I think it's amazing. It's a fantastic film. I think it would be cool if we got like some sort of a sequel or something. We got a TV show, which wasn't great, but yeah. But yeah, I think this belongs in the S tier. I think it's still quite underrated, actually. So yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
So 5 S's and a D. The S's will overwhelm the D, and in this case, it is overwhelming. That can happen. We've had that happen before. There was something that Papa West gave like an F, and we all gave it like an S. I'm trying to remember what it was on like that last episode. What was it?
Sicario. I don't remember. It wasn't Papa West,
okay.
but I remember Sicario got all.
I know Chris
S's
gave
except for one
it
F.
like a D or
something like that. Yeah, I know. We've had things like that happen before. But if there's enough S's, it can't overwhelm that. And 5 will get it up there. So, yeah. So there we go. And we will go to Steven for your pick, sir.
You know what? Yesterday was Michelle Yeoh's birthday.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Tread lightly.
Yeah, I know. I think I remember you saying that you're not a fan of this movie, but I love it. I'm gonna go with Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
There we go.
Yeah.
I think this is a beautifully crafted movie. Some great choreography. The sword fights are fantastic. The performances from everyone, from Chow Yun-fat and Michelle Yeoh, are great. And it's a great looking film. And S tier. Probably my second or third favorite Ang Lee movie, because I think Life of Pi is my favorite Ang Lee movie, but this probably comes in second or third.
I'm agreeing with you at that point. Anyway.
Well, Austin, I know you're not huge on it, so
dude, these look, and it's funny because in Kill Bill Volume 1 they do a little bit of this stuff, but at the same time she's got a samurai sword and she's like chopping arms off, and there's guys with their blood going over there, and it's fun, and the girls like throwing the little like saber ball all over the place, like, and it's awesome, and they're like hopping all over the place. But like this movie where they're just doing this dance on like tree limbs and like flailing around and doing ballet over the trees, like horse shit. I hate this. like I hate that movie. Like I can't stand that movie. It's boring. It's like over choreographed. It's like a ballet dance with swords. They're like barely touching each other. Like if I'm gonna watch a kung fu movie, like I want them like kicking the shit out of each other. Like I want to see people like throwing down. Like this is not my style of movie. I don't like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. I can recognize that the acting is fine and it's like well made, but this movie's not for me. I don't like this movie. I give it a D.
Ooh, all right. Yeah. Well,
that's how you really feel.
Yeah.
I
don't like this shit. Yeah.
I'm not quite as harsh, but I'm not high on it either. Because like I remember the first time that I watched it over at a friend's house, and the movie came on TV, and we started watching it, and halfway through we were bored. We're like, you want to go do something else? This is boring. like we just weren't really into it. And some of my favorite movies, like The Matrix, has a lot of wire work in it, but they do a lot of stuff, a lot of cool things with like more kung fu and like guns and that kind of stuff in that movie. And I know they're not probably gonna have guns here, but I mean, it just looks like they're like floating, doing like a dance. They're not really fighting. Like it's almost, I don't know, like it almost looks like a play to me than more of a movie, like something that you see if you go to see a Broadway show and you see them out on the actual wires, like that kind of thing. So for that, I got to give it a C. That's where I'm gonna put it. All right. So, but Malcolm.
Yeah, this was originally going to be the one I brought up first, but then I remembered that Austin and Jordan aren't really a big fan of it. But I'm glad someone else was brave enough to bring it up, because I love Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. I think it is a really fun action movie, and so I'm going to go yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
Austin and I agree on a lot of things. This is not one of them. Fuck that I'll go. Yeah, I love Crouching Tiger and Dragon. I think it's amazing. Yeah, that is big ballet, man. If ballet was like that, I'd go to fucking. I'd watch ballet all the time. I would. There's something to watching Nutcracker. That shit's going on. So yeah, no, I would also go S. But
There's very few reasons why I'd ever go watch ballet. There's a couple, but not many.
Well, it might come down to Mesa to see where this thing ends up. Let's see.
Choo, anybody calling for the S train? Choo, let's go, baby. Crouching Tiger and Dragon.
Oh.
Baby.
Oh.
All right. We got 3 S's and then
we got four S's.
Four S's. Okay.
4 S's. So yeah, I can't go back on what I said. Although if it comes down to the actual votes, it may end up in the lower end of the S tier because of the other 2 votes. So yeah,
it would be between Spider-Man and Manitou, wouldn't it? Because didn't Spider-Man get 4 S's, an A and a B?
It would be both. It would be at the bottom right now where it is right now.
Yeah.
It'd be a S for it, is it?
Yeah.
So all right,
we'll see what happens. Anything's possible. So we'll throw it to Austin, I guess.
All right. So I was gonna bring up one, but I think Jordan might bring it up based on his handle, and I might agree with him. So I'll let him take that one. I'm gonna go with an animated movie that I think should be in the S tier. I think I'm gonna go with The Incredibles.
Yeah,
I think The Incredibles is not only one of the best Pixar movies ever made, right up there with the Toy Story trilogy. It's right there in the middle, right next to iRobot. Yeah. As many people have said, and it's a cliche at this point, but it's the best Fantastic Four movie we ever had. I think it's incredible, actual like superhero action in this movie. Like all the action sequences and the fights are great when they're working together and kind of doing their thing. I love Syndrome. He's an excellent villain. Obviously, Sam Jackson is Frozone. But yeah, it's not just a great Pixar movie. It's a great action movie and a great superhero movie, and it should be right up there with Spider-Man 2 as far as one of the great comic book movies, especially of this era. So, I'll nominate The Incredibles for S tier.
Yeah. Incredibles is awesome. Yeah, it's one of my favorite animated movies. We have done some animated stuff on here, but we're going to be doing some more coming up in the coming months. So. I'm excited to revisit that. If you go onto our Patreon, you can see our an exclusive where we ranked all the Pixar movies, and we had Incredibles pretty high. I'll say that. It's great action. Like it's like fun. Like not only action, but I mean also like the humor, the story, the writing, all the way that it's drawn, and it's got great villains with Syndrome and then the Underminer for a second, and then you get. Then I like Edna Mode. She's great in it. And then Frozone. So yeah, the great characters that are fun to quote, all that stuff. So yeah, I'll say S tier for Incredible. Yeah.
All right, going down to Malcolm.
Yeah. If you're going to tell me the Awesome was going to be the first one to bring up an animated movie, I would have said you were crazy.
Yeah, right.
Hey, we talked about it. Like, join our Patreon, you can see our full discussion. But I think this was, one of the last real event Pixar movies, before they started trailing off a little bit. So I really dig this movie. Yeah.
But that being said, I do really love The Incredibles. It's not one that instantly jumped out to me when I'd think action though. But that being said, I am still going to give it an S because it does have some great action sequences and that. And yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So Richie.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite Pixar films. I didn't expect you to bring it up.
Surprising us.
I didn't bring it up, but it's fantastic. The better Fantastic Four movie we got, probably the best Fantastic Four movie we've had. Hopefully, it will. They still might stand the time of being the best Fantastic Four movie we got. I don't know what they're going to do with the John Krasinski thing.
Just go, don't call it. Apparently, don't call it Fantastic Four, and it might be good. Like The Incredibles.
This is called The Incredibles. I think this movie is great. It's not something that left out to me either, as action, but definitely fits. So I will say S.
All right.
Yeah. Steve,
what
do you think?
Choo. Let's continue that S train, baby. S train. Yes, for sure. This is if anything, I think this might be the best Pixar movie of all time. I'm gonna
Yeah.
say it's the best Pixar movie of all time. Not only that, but just also the fact that I know of the company that I work for, Fantasy Super Cosplay Wrestling, used Syndrome as one of their villains in their wrestling world, played by the first wrestling champion Darren Corbin. And if you ever want to check out Darren Corbin as Syndrome in a wrestling ring, check out FSCW on YouTube.com. Their newest show is going to be on Thursday at 8 p.m. From
nice.
Raleigh. But yes, quick plug, FSCW. But Incredibles is incredible.
Yeah.
I like the way you worked to plug into your actual answer. That was great. I like
that.
Well done.
Yep.
Well done. All right, Steven.
So I guess this isn't a hot take, but I guess you would call it a warm take. I think The Incredibles is a perfectly entertaining, fun movie. But I never really got the hype surrounding it that so many people have. It's enjoyable. I like it. I don't think it's great. So I would say it's a good movie. So I would say it's a B tier.
I know it's no Good Dinosaur, Steven. That's fine.
Actually, I haven't seen the Good Dinosaur.
It's no Cars 2.
Yeah.
We know.
Yeah.
Now, Cars 2 might be the worst Pixar movie.
I mean, you still haven't seen The Good Dinosaur. That's
yeah, right. Anyways, all right. So we still have 5 S's and a B, so it's going to stay up there. Yeah, and it'll actually be right behind Minority Report. So
Yeah.
All right. All right.
Yeah. All right.
So we'll go to you, Jordan. What do you got?
Well, may as well just get it out of the way just because I have it as my screen name. So we'll just go for it. I'll go for the transporter. Let's see. I know it's here. Yep. There we go. So, yeah, Mr. Frank Martin. The transporter is awesome because, like, I feel like most people, especially most boys growing up, like they always had their like favorite kind of B action star. I don't think that he's a B action star anymore, but I do think though that maybe back in the day when Jason Statham was leading all these generic action movies, like he kind of was, but they're really good though. For whatever reason, I was always just drawn to him, and I always go to the theater to check him out because I never was a big like some of these other B action stars like a Jean-Claude Van Damme or Steven Seagal or anything like that. Like I never was really drawn to any of those. Even like Stallone, like I wasn't that. Besides like Rocky and Rambo. So, but yeah, Statham's great though, and I'm glad that he finally got his chance to kind of jump right up into the stratosphere with some of his movies and become more of an A star leading action guy. And it's a fun movie, yeah. Like Frank Martin, he's just the guy that just wants to live a quiet life, but then he just does these little jobs, no questions asked, and then all of a sudden he has to kidnap the daughter of a Chinese crime lord, and like things go crazy for him. So it's a fun time. Like if you're looking for a more like a B action series, which I definitely still would consider the Transporter to be more of a B action series myself. So, like it's one of the best ones out there. So I'll say S tier. So
okay, Malcolm, what do you say about the Transporter?
I have never seen it. The first time I'd ever heard of Jason Statham was when he was Chev Chelios.
Okay. A little crank action. All right. Yeah. That'll be on the next episode of the 05 to 09. Richie.
You ever think Snatch or Lock, Stock, Two Smoking Barrels, Mark? Anyway.
I've never seen them.
Okay, fair enough. Jason Statham's like the Rock to me. That's why that's cool to do the battle. Some of my battles because, like, even if they're, they've got such a sort of charismatic presence on screen that you kind of it uplifts the movie. And to the Transformers, I don't really hold high as like an S, but it's a really fun movie, and it's one of those ones that introduced Statham as a leading man to a lot of people, and he's very very charismatic. The action set pieces are great. It's certainly better than the Transporter Refueled or whatever the fuck that was they tried to reboot.
That's terrible.
Yeah. With that terrible guy from the first Deadpool, like Francis or whatever his name is, as the Transporter.
What's his name? He wasn't great. But But yeah, this is great. But I wouldn't put it. I'll go A.
Okay.
Yeah.
Steve, what do you think of the Transporter?
I've only seen it once, and that's about it. But I understand. I totally understand where Jordan's coming from. I totally understand where everybody's coming from on this. But for me, it was a forgettable movie, and why they continued after the first one, in my opinion, God knows why. I'm sure it made a lot of euros. That's why they continue doing that. But I'm going to be very generous. I'm going to give it a B.
Ooh, all right.
All right, Steven.
Actually, really enjoyed the second one. But yeah, I don't think I can quite go S, but it's definitely an A. It's a really fun, enjoyable popcorn movie. The scene when he's there, all covered in the oil. Everyone's like fighting in the oil.
Yeah,
the really funny scene. That's the thing with the first two movies, in particular, are like actually really funny.
Yeah,
you could almost enjoy them as comedies. So yeah, it's A tier for me.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, Austin.
Well, I have to put a movie that's in my top 128 in the S tier because I love the Transporter. And this came out the year I worked at the movie theater. I watched it a lot, like on my breaks and stuff. This is the movie that really introduced me to Jason Statham because at the time I hadn't seen Snatch and Lock, Stock, or even he's in Ghosts of Mars. People forget about that, which came out a year before this. But yeah, he doesn't really stand out in that movie. But I love the Transporter. I think the car chase at the beginning is excellent. All the fight sequences I thought were really creative at the time. Like they just had this flair where Statham was like very flexible. It was kind of like Van Damme, but they did some cool, like creative, almost Jackie Chan type stuff with him, like in the bus, like swinging around on like the poles and like this is the oil slick and putting on like the bicycle pedals and do all that stuff was really fun. Just some really creative stuff. I kind of like there's some weird music in it, but I kind of dig it. Like it helps us kind of stand apart. Like this real weird like French Euro music. But I really love the Transporter, man. I would go S tier. Like this is on my list. So S tier for Transporter.
He's also in the He's also in the opening. He's in the opening scene of Collateral.
Yeah, that's right. And supposedly he's playing Frank Martin in that when he's passing Tom Cruise in that movie. That's what the director said. So yeah, he's actually playing the Transporter.
I was gonna say that the Transporter played when you were in theaters, Austin. I got to deal with the Transporter Refueled. That's what played when I was.
Yeah, not as good, right?
Not as good. Not good at all in any way.
Who thought a Transporter movie without Jason Statham would work?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, well, it's not good.
But
okay, so we got 2 S's, 2 A's, and a B. So it's gonna be like at the top of A for right now. It'll drop down just a tad. But yeah, it could still be in honorable mention territory. We'll see what happens. But yeah, we will swing all the way back down, back to the bottom of the order. And Malcolm Lay, what do you got next, sir?
All right.
So Richie kind of ruined my transition I was going to make because I'm going to be bringing up Collateral.
Okay.
I think that is the better Tom Cruise movie that's in this section. Like Tom Cruise as a villain is something that I didn't know I didn't think would work, but I mean, I came to this late. I think I saw this for the first time. I think it was last year or something. I think it was when I was doing a Tom Cruise ranking at the time. But anyway, I think Tom Cruise plays a really interesting villain, and I think Collateral really shows that has a good chemistry with Damien Foxx, and I think the actual story is really good as well. So yeah, Collateral for S.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Richie, what do you think of Collateral?
I love the movie. It might be appearing on my 128. I think it's a fantastic movie. It's my favorite Tom Cruise movie. As an action movie, though, I like it. It's good. It's got a decent amount of action, but like I don't really consider it much. I think it's more of a thriller, sort of a drama, like thriller suspense movie than action. There's a couple of decent scenes here, but I think as an overall action movie, there are better actual action movies on the list. But I just because of the overall quality of the film, I'd go A. But it is a fantastic movie.
Yeah.
All right, Steve Mason.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm definitely going to go for Collateral as the S tier. I think this possibly is, you know what? I'll say it. I think it's better than Heat. I'll say it because
no
I
problem.
really enjoy this better because like a lot of people. I'm not saying that he's not a masterpiece, but like I've appreciated more Collateral for its performances, it's the way they shot the film in digital because this is one of the first films that they shot, I think, using red cameras, I believe. And the fact that we get Tom Cruise as a villain for the first, I believe this might be the first time he's played a villain. I don't know if you can correct me on that, Malcolm, but I'm pretty sure this is the first time we see him in a villain, and he just exudes, and especially that jazz club scene. I think that that doesn't exude a lot of actions, but the just the repertoire between the jazz man and Vincent, I think it's one of the highlights. And for the fact that it's great filmmaking at its best, I'm definitely going to give this put it in the S tier.
Okay.
Yeah.
Steven?
I think it's a really good movie, and I think both Cruise and Fox are excellent in it. I actually think I would rank it like in fourth place as far as Michael Mann movies goes, because I also loved The Insider and The Last of the Mohicans a little more. But I wouldn't quite go S tier, but I think it's a very solid A.
Yeah. Austin.
Man, it's. I meant to get back to this one because man, it's been a long time since I've seen Collateral. I actually picked up the 4K for like $10 on Amazon the other day, and like I've been meaning to pop it in to give it a rewatch because man, it's been a long time. What I remember there being a couple of good, like I remember that one club restaurant sequence, whatever it is that you're talking about with Cruise, like that'd be a pretty good sequence. Yeah, but it being more of like a thriller drama as well. I'm kind of in line with Richie, like the actual action in the movie. If I can't remember a lot of the specific scenes, to me that's a little tougher for me to go S tier because I think even in the Tom Cruise vein, Minority Report has better chase sequences, a little bit better actual action. But I still remember being a really good movie. But I'm gonna go A as well, like a strong A.
Yeah. I think that I gotta say S, just for the performances. I think the performances are really, really solid. I mean, because not only Tom Cruise and Jimmy Fox, they're killing it, and but then you also have Javier Bardem, and for the time when it came out, I would like to see a little more Jada Pinkett Smith. I mean, nowadays in light of recent events, I'm not as big as a fan of hers, but I mean,
hey, keep her name in your mouth, okay?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And don't forget Mark Ruffalo's in that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in
right. Yeah. Yeah, so like it's a lot of fun, and it has some pretty good car chase sequences and stuff, and just Tom Cruise just going in, just killing a bunch of people and like surprising Jamie Foxx and all that. Like it's pretty good stuff, and yeah, it's fun seeing Tom Cruise as a villain. Like he did a really great job. So yeah, I think that I'm gonna say S tier, and I will say that I just saw this movie probably like 6 months ago for the first time, and man, like I was like hanging on for just about every scene. So yeah, S tier.
Okay, so.
Decent
Yeah.
Decent soundtrack. Like the big gasoline by Audio Slave was used really well. Anyway,
oh yeah.
No, so we got 3 S's and 3 A's. So it's gonna hang on to the S tier for now, but it's gonna be like walking a thread where if there's other movies that get like, those 4 S's or 5 S's, it might get knocked out by the end of the show. But we'll keep it on the thread for now. But it's kind of hanging by a wire. So that's how we kind of go the 3 and 3s. So
yeah.
There you go. So it'll hang on for now. We'll see what happens by the end of the show. So yeah, we will move on to Richie. What do you want to nominate next?
Yeah, I'm surprised this hasn't been brought up and it's come back to me. They're going to go for a great action franchise. There's really only one that's not that great, but and one that sort of helps launch him further into superstardom. I'm going to go Born Identity.
Oh, Born Identity. All right. Okay.
It's just a fantastic action film. Matt Damon's amazing in it, and yeah, like I think it's just a solid a solid film. All around. I think it's just fantastic. I think is it Doug Liman that does this one, or is it Paul Greengrass?
I think Lyman did the first one, and then Greengrass did the sequels, right?
Yes, correct.
Yes.
Okay. Is that what it is?
Except for
Except for Jason Bourne, except
Yeah.
for the Bourne Files or Bourne Legacy, that was Tony Gilroy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad I have career genius Steve Mesa here to back me.
Yeah.
Director extraordinaire Steve Mesa. Director extraordinaire.
Like Doug Live does a fantastic job here, and then I just think it's a great franchise, and I think Matt Damon absolutely crushes it, and I think it's worthy of an S tier. I think it's fantastic. So
Okay. Mason, what do you think?
Okay, despite backing up Richie's argument, I think wait. The first three movies are the best Bourne movies. Let's just say that. But if I were to pick out of the first three movies, which one I would rank the highest? In my opinion, I would not rank Bourne Identity as high as some of the movies that are going to come up. Maybe when I'm going to probably say in the next time, but we'll see. But listen, it's a spot. It's basically this brought back James Bond, basically, in my opinion. I think this was the movie that brought James Bond back. If not, the next Bourne movie was the one that say, oh wait, people are still interested in spy movies. Maybe we should make another James Bond after the Die Another debacle.
The same year. Yeah, this was the better spy movie. That's for damn sure.
Much better spy movie in 2002.
Yeah.
But in my compared to the next two movies that I'll probably be speaking of, besides the last one, which is 2007. But I will put this in the A tier. I'm gonna say my argument for the second movie.
Okay. I like Dino Debacle. I think that's a good title for them.
Yeah.
Dino the Debacle. Dino the Disaster. Yeah.
All right, Steven, what do you think?
I'm gonna go with A tier for the same reason. I do like Supremacy a little more.
Okay.
Okay. Maybe a hint of what's to come.
Awesome.
I'll tell you what. I'm going to go S tier for Identity because I don't like what Supremacy did to the action genre with the shaky cam bullshit that Greengrass starts doing in that movie.
Yeah.
I think the action is way harder to negotiate in that movie. I think in this one there's still some decent choreography. I like the kind of escape from the place. What am I trying to say? The place with the passports. What the
train station?
The embassy thing. Like we escaped the embassy, and then there's like a good car chase in it, a couple of good fight sequences here and there, some good spy stuff. And I think in this one it's still well shot action. Yeah, I mean you can go to Supremacy, but I'm gonna knock it for the way it films the action if we get there, because I think it did some bullshit that too many movies started to copy after that. So I'll go S for Identity, and we'll leave it at that. I mean, if we want to just bring up the other one after we go around, we can do that and just get it out of the way. That's fine. Yeah. I mean, we can do that because it seems like it's going to come up anyway. So we can do that. But we'll go Jordan first. Yeah, we'll go around the horn on this one first, and then we'll come back around to that.
Well, I was going to say the same thing about the shaky cam, Austin. That just like how the second one does it. Like it just kind of gets you for me, it just kind of makes me feel like kind of dizzy, like just watching it. Like it's good. It's still like a really good movie. I just wish it just has a style to it that's just a little different. But and I go back to the first Bourne more because it's almost like a mystery movie because you're trying to figure out who this guy is, where he came from, what happened, like he lost his memory here, and still in the next movie he's still trying to figure it all out. So it's still part of it, but at the same time, you're really trying to figure out who this guy is. You have no idea, and you're kind of along for the ride with him. And you see with all these different passports, all these different names, which one is he actually? And I remember that in 2002, I remember going to see that movie, The Sum of All Fears, and thinking that was really good. And then this movie came out and blew that out of the water. So I'm like, man, this is a pretty good year. So I'd definitely say that Esther, because this is the movie that just put Matt Damon on my radar. It's an amazing actor. So yeah, I'll say S tier.
Okay.
I mean, nobody knew that he'd make a good action hero.
Yeah, right. Well, sometimes you don't know until they become an action hero.
Did you know that you wouldn't think, oh, Liam Neeson's going to be good at, do these action?
Yeah.
Well, is he?
Well, Liam
Is he?
Neeson's done great
I
action
know,
movies.
like,
before Taken.
Taken was good, and
Taken,
I seen those camera cuts Austin was talking about really helped Taken as well.
Taken 3, especially with the fence, the famous fence jumping with 15 cuts in about 6 seconds. Oh my God, it's the worst of all time. Anyways, we still got to get to Malcolm. So Malcolm, what do you think of the Bourne Identity?
Yeah, I only came to the Bourne franchise this year. Because once again, I watched them all because I think it was either Matt Damon movies or something else. But I watched them all for the first time. I like Bourne Identity. I like a different one more, so I'm going to go B for Bourne.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So what are the votes now?
So it's 3 S's, 2 A's, and a B. I think that's actually going to slide it down to A for now because the other one actually had all A's as supplementals. So it was like right on the border. And with that, and with Malcolm's B, that might actually slide it down to the A tier temporarily. So
Would you say 3 A's or did you say 3 S's?
So 3 S's, 2 A's, and a B.
Well, so it's 3 S's. I mean, I don't know if it will like hang on there, but
Collateral was literally split. That's why it's hanging on 3, 3, and 3.
yeah, we could put it down here. There's a chance it could bump.
It could
up,
bump
maybe.
up. It could bump up if we don't get anything else. Like I will keep track of that. You know what I mean? I put stars by these ones that are kind of hanging on that we sometimes either bump up or down. At the end of the show. But I think because of Malcolm's B, I think it slid it just a little further than Collateral for right now. Yeah. So if we want to bring up Supremacy, we can do that and go around the horn on it because it feels like it's going to come up anyways. Yeah. So Steve, we'll save your pick and let's just go Supremacy. If you can pick something else, we'll just go Supremacy. We'll start with Richie again, just because he brought up Bourne. So we'll go around the horn on Supremacy if everybody wants to. If everybody's fine with that, so we can do that. Yeah, we can do that. I feel like it's going to come up anyway, so we just might as well get out of the way. So Richie, what do you think of Supremacy?
I'm sort of with you with the camera cuts and so on. I think the action's still fantastic. I think obviously the performance is still there, still really good. But yeah, I think the action's shot better on Bourne Identity, so I'd go A.
Yeah.
All right, Steve.
Sounds good. Steve.
S tier. Enough said.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Steven?
Yeah.
I understand the criticism surrounding the shaky cam, but I think nobody does it better than Paul Greengrass. And I think it's a more emotional and compelling movie than Identity. So I would also go S tier for Supremacy.
Yeah. Austin?
As a movie and action scene, I would probably both go A. Again, I have to knock it because, maybe nobody does it better than Greengrass. Nobody should do it at all. It's bullshit. Stop doing that shit in movies. Pull the camera back. Have these guys choreograph a scene and just take it piece by piece. You know what I mean? Quit doing the shaky shit just to cover it up. Like, have your actor, learn a couple of moves. Let's do some choreography or get the stunt guy in there. Let's do some choreography. I feel like it should be, if you're going to do a thing of that, either let the guy do it or get the stunt people in there and do it. But yeah, I mean, there's still a good car chase. I like the car chase in the middle of it. And I like some of the other sort of back and forth cat and mouse sequences at the end of the movie. So I'll still give it an A, but I'm going to knock it a little bit for that.
Well, Spielberg also did a great job with it in Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah. That is true. But yeah, so we'll say for this movie, I've actually been in the same room as Matt Damon. I haven't actually met him, but I was in the same room because
I hope it's at Comic-Con, not in your you just walk in your bedroom.
No. It's because so Frank Marshall. So I'm from Boise, Idaho. Frank Marshall, he produced all the Bourne movies and a lot of really popular movies in the 80s and 90s and stuff, and he was married to Kathleen Kennedy, and Kathleen Kennedy's from Boise. That's where she kind of she lived there for about, I want to say 15, 20 years, something like that. So they have a little bit of a connection to the area. So he would bring Matt Damon for these premieres and actually show it before it actually premiered all the Bourne movies. So I went and saw the second one. I remember going to the premiere for that there, and at a big theater we have there called the Egyptian. That's in Boise, and yeah, it was a fun time. And I'm still not a fan of the shaky cam, so I can't really defend any of that. And I don't like some of the choices that they make in this movie as much. I mean, some people might. I don't like that they killed off his girlfriend near the beginning. Spoiler alert. But it does kind of maybe give him more motivation. But kind of like them palling around. I like him having someone with him instead of just being completely on his own, but still good. Like, and even so, I would still give it an S. But if we were to rank individually on the S, I'd put the Bourne Identity higher on the S than the Bourne Supremacy. But I'll still say S.
All right, Malcolm.
I like Bourne Supremacy. It's still not my favorite in this franchise, despite Cal Urban being in it. But I'm going to go A for this.
Yeah. What about Carl Urban? Yeah, that's another reason I like this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
all right, so 3-3 again, much like Collateral. So it's kind of hanging on by a wire for the moment. And we'll see what happens by the end of the movie, or end of the movie, end of Tier Ranker, the end of this movie discussion. Anyways, we'll go back to Steve Mesa. So what do you got next, sir?
Guys, we talked about Matt Damon, but we just got to keep this Matt Damon train along. And I don't think if we're going to put a Matt Damon movie, I think we should put the ultimate Matt Damon movie. And guys, I'm talking about Team America World Police. Come on, guys. I mean, this is probably the best Matt Damon movie he's ever done. He has such a great performance. He brings such a gravitas, and his dialogue is just rich with character. You guys know I'm bullshitting at this point, but
I was gonna say. I
want to put Team America on the S tier. I think it's probably one of the best satire of action movies we've got going on for us, and just the fact that it brought so much controversy because of puppets having sex, I think it's why it should belong. But that scene. Better than that.
That's good.
And the vomit scenes, it's Oscar worthy. Just him vomiting his guts out. I don't know why I don't know why did the Oscars hate it so much. I just can't put my finger on it. I'm not really sure.
Gee, I wonder.
So I'm gonna put it out there and say Team America World Police, S tier.
Yeah, sounds good. Steven, what do you think?
Out of the 120 movies on the list, I've seen 106 of them. Unfortunately, Team America is not one of those 106.
Oh, man.
It's shocking.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
so back in 2004, I saw Team America, and I thought it looked funny. And then I watched the movie, and I kind of hated almost every scene about it, and I despised it. I don't like Team America. And to put this up in as far as like an action tier ranker, right up next to The Incredibles or Kill Bill or some of these other ones we're gonna say for these goddamn marionette puppets.
I'm here for the anarchy, brother.
No. I can't do that. I don't even like the movie as a comedy, much less as an action movie. I mean, no. D, and I'm being generous.
What? D?
Yeah, I think that movie sucks. Yeah.
Man. Well, I gotta say a couple lines. America, fuck yeah, coming again to save the motherfucking day, yeah. Like, Team America's awesome, and like as far as like puppet movies go, like they tried to do it with like Happy Time Murders, maybe do a little bit of that. That one didn't work for me, but Team America, it just like works for whatever reason. Like it's just them just, I don't know, just doing goofy, random, weird stuff with all these puppets, and the jokes hit for me. I like what they do with like Kim Jong Un, like I'm singing like I'm so lonely and like all that, like it's good stuff. And yeah, like I like just seeing them coming flying out of the what's it called, the Mount Rushmore, and with their little base they have there, and yeah, like it's just a fun time, and as an action movie, I think that it works because you got explosions everywhere, you got big guns, you got the military, you got all this stuff. So yeah, like for me, it actually really works. This is one of the few like satire style action movies that actually works really well for me. So I'm gonna say S.
You guys are gonna put this right next to The Two Towers, which will eventually be in the S tier. That's one of the great action movies of 2004.
Jordan,
you guys are fucking with me, right?
You know what? I want to change my vote for the Transporters. I'm going to give Transporter an S.
There we go. I'll move it up.
Move it on up, brother.
mean, is that possible? Or you like? I think it is. I'd say I'll put it there. For
I don't
now.
know what he had it originally yet.
I had it at a B.
B.
Oh.
So because another S, which would put it at least here.
What made you change your mind?
Oh, I don't know. I had a feeling it just passing from Team America
yeah.
just made me just like, oh, you know what? Change that shit up. Let's go, brother.
All right.
Yeah.
Malcolm
All
and
right,
Richie, please be the voice of sanity of putting a marionette movie up against some of the greatest action movies of all time.
Because it's puppet doesn't mean it's like stupid. It's just
Look.
Yeah, it does. It's stupid.
Look, Austin speaks the truth here. Team America is fucking stupid.
You're not from America.
Look, I thought I was going to be alone. I thought I was going to be alone here. I'm glad I'm not. But yeah, I mean, this is just really stupid. Like, I don't even like South Park. And like for me, the best Trey Parker and Matt Stone they've ever done is basketball, and that's being somewhat generous. So America, fuck no, go to F.
I mean, I think South Park, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut is one of the funniest movies of all time.
I mean, that movie's overrated as shit too. A fucking musical? Why?
Well,
the music is so great.
well, spoiler alert: if we ever do an episode on like sequels we'd like to see, Team America maybe from me. I don't know. We'll see. But Richie?
Yeah, this is not an S tier action movie. Yeah, it's just not.
Oh, come on!
Look,
You're gonna have a little fun in your lives. Come on.
Yeah, well, yeah, sure. But it's not. It's just not an action. It's not. Like, I don't think action in this thing. Yeah, it's a parody movie. I haven't watched it in a while. I remember liking it at the time, but I think I watched it when I was like a teenager. I haven't watched it since, so that my sensibilities would have changed by then. So yeah, look, I'll go C, and that's generous.
Well, I'll say that if you're actually from America, just go to the gym and then put your earbuds in, crank up America, fuck yeah, and just see how much weight you can lift. It's awesome. It's just like a good time. Come on. Yeah.
Look,
But,
the only way I'd ever want to see a sequel to Team America is if it's a 5-minute short of all the puppets burning in a fire and then never return.
Ooh. Well, what are the votes here? They're going to be pretty split.
2 ridiculous S tier votes, which is unfathomable to me for this movie, for an action thing. A C, a D, and an F. So at most, it's going to be like a B. At most.
Yeah.
Well, the 2 S's are still S's, but the rest are low tier, so it's going to be kind of in the middle at a B. But
wasn't it like a 1 haven't seen 2? So it's like a 1 is a 2 S's.
Well, we don't count haven't seen it all. That's not that we don't count that. We just go with the ones who have seen it.
So it goes to the B.
Yeah.
It's a B.
Yeah.
It's a B. Yeah.
It's higher than I thought it would get, so that's good.
I love that Steve gave it recently. He was trying to argue it down, but not having seen it.
Yeah.
I tried.
I'm trying to be fair.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Going to Steven. Shepard, what do you got?
Okay, well, I haven't seen Team America, so I can't really see this. But let's cleanse with a genuinely great action movie. Are we not entertained? Gladiator.
Oh yeah. Let's see, where's it at? I know it's here. Well,
If it's in date order, then it's probably near the top.
F.
But it's right next to Gone in 60 Seconds.
Oh yeah. There it is. Yeah, I got it.
All right, Steven. Good.
In my opinion, I know a lot of people say either Alien or Blade Runner, but in my opinion, this is Ridley Scott's best movie. And Russell Crowe is awesome in this. Joaquin Phoenix is great. Connie Nielsen. I mean, the whole cast. It's a great looking film. The action is fantastic. Especially the one where he's fighting, and then is it a tiger? I think that's released.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, this is one of my favorite movies, definitely of the early 2000s, and it's definitely one of the best action movies of that era. So S tier for Gladiator.
Yeah.
Surprisingly quotable movie too.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
And probably Hans Zimmer's best score, although I love his score for Crimson Tide as well.
Yeah. Boston, what do you think?
Yeah, it's definitely, you could definitely make the argument this is the best sort of movie about gladiators. You know, I go back to the airplane quote. You like gladiator movies? But yeah, no, this is definitely probably the best example of that, the best choreographed stuff we've ever seen as far as that goes. Yeah, all the fight sequences and sword and sandal sequences essentially are tremendous. You know, when he's kind of fighting his way up the ladder. Yeah, even the stuff at the beginning, the kind of little battles and things are really good. And yeah, this is one of my favorite Ridley Scott movies, kind of up there with like The Martian and some of those other ones. So yeah, it was on my short list of S tier stuff for this one, so I got to go S tier as well.
Yeah. Well, my vote's kind of more visual, but you gotta go.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's an absolute S tier, and one of the funny things is my younger brother, when he got his wisdom teeth out, we made one of those kind of like coming home from the dentist, that like when you're all hopped up on all the drugs, and like all I kept saying is like Mom, I just want to go home and watch Gladiator. It'll help me become a better man. Like, how can I become a better man? You watch Gladiator. And like you just kept on just like quoting all these Gladiator quotes and stuff. Like, so yeah, and that's a movie that like we kind of bonded over, and there's a reason why like it's known to be one of the best sword and sandal movies, like the standard that like all other sword and sandal movies are kind of based off of. And like I don't know what's gonna happen with the sequel that we're gonna get. I mean, hopefully it's like on par. I don't know, but yeah, I'll say S tier. It's pretty easy. Yeah. Malcolm.
Yeah, I mean, I do think Gladiator is a good movie. I really do like this. For me, though, this is more of an historical drama than it is an action movie. Well, yes, it's got some action moments in it and all that. To me, it's just not an action movie.
It's got tons of action. What are you talking about?
Yeah. All right.
It's chock full of fights.
Well, dialogue heavy, but yeah.
He's in the arena where you know.
He's in the arena most of the thing fighting people. That's action. I don't know what else you'd call it.
All right. Well,
anyways, Richie.
Yeah, it's an action movie. It's definitely an action movie. I think Ridley Scott's been talked about doing a sequel for ages. I think there's something's happening on that front. That's gonna be interesting. But yeah, like honestly, I know this movie is great, it's fantastic, and yeah, sort of introduced Russell Crowe to I think an international audience. And roughly so he's really good, and yeah, so I would definitely say S as well.
Yeah. Steve,
You know, I used to like Ridley Scott. Then he started all this bitching about cinema and the subscription and all this other jazz, and just ever since that stuff, I mean, just the mention of Ridley Scott just really leaves the sour taste in my mouth. Now, nothing against the movie itself. I really enjoy the movie. I personally don't believe it belongs in the S tier, and I do consider it an action movie. But I'm gonna knock it down a peg and then put it in the A tier.
Okay.
Yeah. Sure.
All right, so it's at 4 S's and an A, so it's above those other ones that are kind of hanging on the thread, kind of right below Crouching Tiger. So that's where it is now.
So kind of with all of those there, but
it's above the other two because Transport and Collateral have like a 3 and 3. They're hanging on right now. Yeah.
Okay. Well, guys, just hear me out. Would you watch a Team America 2 if we had this premise from Brian? I kind of like. The team tries to destroy Donald Trump.
I don't want to see a sequel that was shitty in the first place.
Come on, you don't want to see it.
Doesn't matter.
I don't care about the plot. I just don't want to watch it.
All right.
It's one of the different concepts, anyway.
Yeah. Well,
I'd much rather see a Tarantino movie called Kill Trump, and it's Uma Thurman.
Sure. Yeah. Just replace the bill. Yeah. But Austin.
Okay, so I'll probably be alone on this, but if I'm going to talk about it, I'm going to talk about it. So I have 6 movies on my little short list that are actually in my top 128, like surprisingly enough on this list.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, 6 movies. So one of them, and I'll probably be alone on it, but it's the only way I'm going to talk about it. As far as the action and the car stuff goes, Too Fast, Too Furious is the best of this one. Too Fast, Too Furious is better than the original. It's the best of like up until you get to Fast 5. And then again, let me get my argument, okay? Because the opening with all the ludicrous music, the actual street racing, the four-way street race is really great at the beginning of that movie with the bridge and all that stuff. The tag team race that they have for slips against the muscle cars is awesome. It's got a decent little plot, with the drug cartel guy and them kind of running for him. There's some really good highway stuff where they're all racing to get the little cigar clip thing. The actual one of those final sequences where they have all the 100 cars like come out of the garages to like distract the police, and that whole chase sequence is excellent, top notch. Again, if we're talking about action movies, this is the best car stuff of this period, 2000 to 2004. I think they took it up a notch. The original Fast and Furious barely has any car racing. When you go back and look at it, there's not a lot, and they're very, very quick. And this one really amped it up, and I think it's just a damn entertaining movie with a great soundtrack and just a really fun kind of buddy movie too. So again, as far as action movie goes, I think this is the best of this era. I'm going to go Too Fast, Too Furious S tier.
Yeah, and let me just consult my own personal list here because I was going to see where I actually have it. Let me see. Fast. If I can find it here out of the. Okay, so Too Fast, Too Furious. All right. So, I think that it's good. It's still a Fast and Furious movie, and I'm a big fan of the Fast and Furious movies. I find Tyrese kind of annoying in these movies, though. I think he's kind of my.
I don't think he is in this one. He's got a harder edge to him in this one. Like he didn't get as annoying until like the later ones where he's part of the ensemble. Like I think he's got something going on. Yeah, 5 or 6, something like that. Yeah, I don't think he is in this one.
He was okay at 5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, like it's just kind of I don't know. Like the plot doesn't get me. They're like running around with Eva Mendes and like trying to I don't know if it's like drug lords or but they get some cool cars that they give them. So like I do really I dig all the cars that they're given and they're kind of fighting over which one the other one's gonna drive and that kind of stuff. I got dibs on I forget what he said. They got dibs on the Lancer or like whatever or the Evo something like that. But I mean. Still, it's my least favorite of the Fast and Furious movies, but like I'm not really gonna like knock any Fast and Furious movie too low because I'm a big fan. This series came out at the right time for me when I was in high school and like I just worked like me and all my friends. We saw most of these together, so I'll say B, but yeah, that's probably the highest I can give this one. So yeah,
Yeah, I love Too Fast Too Furious. It's a really good movie. It's definitely better than the original. And so I'm going to go an S.
Yay, Malcolm with me for once. Yay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Hey, I was with you with Team America too. So
there you go. Nice.
True.
Richie.
Richie, what do you think?
Yeah, I genuinely like Too Fast and Furious as well. I think it's really good. I love the car chase. Yeah, I think that they amp up it, a lot in the original. Yeah, the original is when you look back at it, it's kind of boring. It's Point Break with cars, and then you don't see much cars in it. But yeah, and I prefer the chemistry between Paul Walker and Tyrese than Paul Walker and Vin Diesel. I feel like Vin Diesel, while he's charismatic, is also takes himself too seriously and he's fucking boring. I find him boring, but like Tyrese injected charisma in it. I think that they played off each other really well, and I kind of would wish that maybe Vin even if he had to come back, took a back seat, and which he wouldn't do because of his ego. But if he took a back seat and just let Tyrese and Paul Walker or whatever be the main guys, that would have been made the story more interesting. But I think the story is pretty solid here. I think that the car chases are amazing. It looks really good, like on on surround sound, it's really good. I'm gonna do it. I'll say yes as well.
Interesting. Okay, Steve.
Guys, you guys are playing the song to my heart, my friend. You're playing Too Fast, Too Furious. This was the year 2000. This was a year before I graduated from high school. This was the year that I started a job at the movie theaters, and this became an event picture bigger than any blockbuster that hit the theater during 2003. The soundtrack is banging. Tyrese and Paul Walker at their best. Ludacris, come on. Soundtrack's a banger. And it was shot in fucking Miami, for the love of God. And anything shot in Miami. Even Transporter 2.
Bad Boys.
Get an S tier.
What you
Those
gonna
Miami
do?
ones, yeah.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say, Richie, I test all my sound systems with the opening of this movie too, because it starts with the doom, 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 boom, boom, boom. And it really bangs your subwoofer, and it's awesome. So like this is Jurassic Park. I test all my sound systems with. It's great. Yeah. Steve?
Steven?
Steven? Excuse me, Steven, not Steven. Steven.
It's a really fun movie. I enjoy almost all of the Fast and Furious movies.
Yeah, we're all high.
But I still wouldn't go higher than B.
Yeah, we're maybe on the same level, Steven. Like, I love the franchise, but for this one, it's B. So, but what are the overall votes?
It's got higher votes than Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Ooh, all right. Sure.
Crouching Tiger had 4 S's, a C, and a D. It's higher than that.
You guys are kind of surprising me tonight. So
yeah, I'm so happy right now. I can quit the show right now, and I'm good. Thank you.
Yeah.
For backing up. Too Fast, Too Furious is fucking awesome. That movie's great. Yeah. All right. Wait till you see me and Henry rank the whole Fast and Furious series, where that one ends up.
Oh yeah,
boy, you're gonna be surprised.
Yeah.
So,
I think we've got a good top 10.
Yeah, top 10.
Won't be too surprised when you put Too Fast Furious at number 1. So
yeah. All right, Jordan, what do you got?
Well, so I gotta go with one that like I mentioned it before that for the past year or so I've been on this Korean cinema kick, so I got to go with the movie Old Boy. So, and let's see, where's it at here? I know it's
good choice, Jordan.
There you go. Yeah. So Old Boy, I think like it's hands down probably the best revenge movie that I've ever seen. Like it just really blew me away when I saw it. That there's some pretty shocking stuff that gets revealed. Like it just and like him just kind of going to all these great lengths. You see what he's been through, just been trapped in this room for so many years, and then he when he gets out, he's like going to find all the dumplings, to find the exact same dumplings that he had, and then going to find this guy that kept him in there. It's a little wonky. I know Moose brought it up that he finds out that he's actually sleeping with his daughter, but that's a shocking thing. And it's like, how do you process that? Like how do you deal with that though? You're like someone that you think you're in love with, but then ends up being your own daughter. That's really twisted. So like, what are you gonna do? That'll give you some like mental issues for sure. But but I freaking love Old Boy, and you got to go with the original, the Korean one. Don't go with the Josh Brolin one or anything. No, that one's not nowhere close. So yeah, I'm gonna go S tier for Old Boy. See what you guys think.
All right, Malcolm.
Haven't seen it.
Ooh.
Hey, to be fair, it's kind of hard to find. I had to order an international 4K to get my 4K, like from an international website. So yeah, it's kind of, and it's not really streaming anywhere. So
it used to be streaming, but
I don't think it is right now for some reason. Yeah, I don't know.
I wonder why. Maybe it has to do with the ending. Maybe that's why.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Maybe something to do with it. Maybe.
Yeah, they might have taken it off some platforms, but
maybe. Richie?
Not hard to find here. It's currently being shown at the cinemas as a game.
Oh, is it?
Oh, nice.
The whole revenge. Was it?
I want to see it.
Is Revenge of Children? Yeah. So
to Australia then.
Yeah,
right.
It's
coming to Australia.
This movie's intense, and I love it. Yeah, it's a great revenge thing. Yeah, so it's a good choice, and I'll go S tier definitely.
Yeah.
Steve?
Oh, Steve? Yeah.
Dude, this movie. So like to refer to how we're talking about, you can't find a movie. Dude, this was back in the day when Netflix was just not a streaming company. This was when they were just a DVD service, and I had to rent that shit online.
Yeah.
Watch this. They didn't even have this in the public library. Now I'm not even sure. Yeah, this is a Korean masterpiece. It's very obviously dark with the ending already being told. But like I got 2 words for you. No, 3 words. Hallway
Hammer fight.
scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
it's gnarly as fuck and
The
done in
original
one
hallway
take.
scene.
And just I can't know the name of the actor who does it, but his performance is probably one of the best performances of the decade.
Yeah.
So,
Choi
yeah,
Min-sik is his name.
Truman Seek, yeah.
Yeah.
so yes, S tier.
S tier, all right.
Yeah.
Steven.
Yeah, so Netflix has the Spike Lee remake, but unfortunately, I was not able to find this anywhere.
Yeah.
So I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I got you.
Oh.
Highly recommend it. No, this is one of the 6 that's in my top 128. I love Old Boy to pieces. It looks great on 4K. 4K is non region free, so if you can't order it online, it's worth it. And yeah, Old Boy rules. This is an awesome revenge movie. It's shot beautifully. Great performances. Yeah, probably my favorite Korean, movie ever made, like essentially. There's some great ones too. I mean, Train to Busan is right up there with it. It's close. But Old Boy is still in that top spot for now. And yeah, that hammer fight, I just love the way it subverts the whole all guys attacking at once, because it's in a confined space. And when you put it in a confined space, it's like 300 where they're, at the little Hell's Gate, where the numbers don't mean anything. When you can do that, like in Daredevil, it does the same thing. With that hallway fight in Daredevil in the show, it's fun, and it kind of takes that trope away. So, Old Boy's great. It's awesome. S tier.
Yeah. Well,
so just 4 S's in general and 2 not C's, but
it'll pretty high, maybe right up and around the top almost. So I'll put it up there for now. We'll see.
So yeah, we'll go back down to Malcolm for another round.
Yeah. When I nominate.
Surprisingly, we're filling up that S tier for a decade we thought was, it might have been stretching, but it's good.
I told you I thought people were sleeping on this decade.
Yeah.
So I'm going to
anyway. Go.
I'm going to go for a shot in the dark here. It's probably not going to go as well as I think, but one of my guilty pleasure movies is now I second guess myself as I just saw another one. I'm going to try this. Look, when I was a kid, I really enjoyed watching the Spy Kids movies.
Oh boy, he's going to do
that.
Oh boy.
Hey, blame do it for going past and me catching it.
Okay. All right.
But look, I think the first Spy Kids movie is a really good, family action. I'm not going to even try and go as high as a S for it, but I'm going to go for at least a B, because I think the Spy Kids movies and Robert Rodriguez does a good job of doing a Spy Kids, like a kids family movie, still look like a really good sort of action movie itself. And like you've got Machete in this, and as well, who's not really Machete, but
he's Uncle Machete. He's technically credited as Uncle Machete. Yeah.
But this is one of those ones that I really enjoyed watching a lot. I would still go back and watch them every now and then, because I like the Spy Kids movies. I'm not going to try for the sequels because I know other people don't like them, but the first one was actually pretty good, so I'm going to go B.
B. Okay.
Yeah. Well,
so he's starting at B, not S.
Yeah. That's sensible, because I was already going to say S, and I had to.
Yeah. I was like,
I think B is a decent spot for it. I think it's a good, decent movie. It's not like I don't go back as much as obviously you do, Malcolm, but I think that it's a fine movie. Robert Rodriguez has an interesting career, just with I think it's a pretty decent movie. Alexa Vega doesn't actually act anymore, but saw recently. But but the other kid from Spy Kids shows up here and there. I still remember. I always remember. I mean, he's a Spy Kids kid, but also always remember him as the guy that got the shit kicked out of him in Rob Zombie's Halloween. And he's also the asshole kid in World's Greatest Dad. Kills himself. But yeah, like this movie's good. I don't have like the affinity for it that maybe other people do, but B is a good spot for it.
And Junie's actually married to Megan Trainor.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, married Megan Trainor. I saw that on I think Rick Glassman's podcast. Yeah, he had Megan Trainor on and then brought him along, and so he popped in. Yeah.
Mhm.
So,
Mason, what do you got?
I was never aboard the Spy Kids train 1 through 5 for whatever movies, how many movies they got going on. I respect the picks from Malcolm here, but I'm gonna go with a C on this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Steven?
Steven.
Robert Rodriguez does have a movie on this list that I absolutely love. But the Spy Kids movies, they're fine. They're, decent family movies. I think B's an all right place for it.
Yeah. Austin?
Yeah, I'll go B as well. I mean, I think the first two at least are perfectly watchable. They're certainly better than your average kind of dopey kids movie, and it's actually a decent concept with the kids kind of going rescuing the parents and kind of doing this sort of mini James Bond kind of stuff. So yeah, it's not bad. Rodriguez at least makes it mildly entertaining. I actually saw the second one before I saw the first one because the second one came out the year I worked at the theater, so I saw everything that year, and then I went back and watched the first one. They're all right. I'll say B. Yeah, it's not going to sniff anywhere near the S tier, but I'll go B.
Yeah. Well, the Spy Kids movie for me, like this one, they're already heading towards a cliff, and then eventually they careen off the cliff with some of the sequels. But I mean, this one is actually not off the cliff yet, so I mean, it's okay. But I think the highest I can ever give it, because I saw it once and never cared to go back to it, so I'll give it a C.
Okay, so it's 4 B's and 2 C's. It'll stay in B. Yeah.
Can we at least put it above Team America, please?
I'm okay with that.
The America actually had S's. Come on.
Yeah, I feel like as much as I want to, we can't.
Yeah, I'd rather watch Spy Kids. That's for damn sure. I'm with you on that one, Malcolm. I'd much rather watch a Spy Kids movie.
Oh, no way.
But all right, Richie, what's your next pick, sir?
All right. I don't know where this is going to go because it's divisive, but I do like these movies most anyway. I'm going to go with one that introduced me to this person. I'm going to go with Kate Beckinsale in Underworld. This movie rules. I like Underworld a lot. Yeah, I just like the world they built here. I'm not going to go S here. But I will. I don't know. I'll go A. I like it. Should be. I think it's good.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Steve, what do you think for Underworld?
All right. The best thing about Underworld, Kate Beckinsale. It's a movie. It had an intriguing premise with werewolves or vampires. And then we go from Underworld to what we do in the shadows. So I mean, it's a great transition. So I would not give it an A. I would give it a B. Underworld.
All right.
Yeah. Steven, what do you think?
Up until around the time of Total Recall, I was actually a pretty big fan of Len Wiseman because I loved the first 2 Underworld movies. I loved Live Free or Die Hard.
I'll defend that Die Hard movie on the next half of the episode. I will. I 05 to 09. Yeah. I'll defend the shit out of that movie, Steven. Me and you.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, his career kind of went downhill after Total Recall. But I think he did a great job. The second one, I guess that would be in the second half. But the second one actually has some really brutal fight scenes between the Lycans and the vampires. The first one, though, I think the first one has a cool story and cool mythology, and I think Kate Beckinsale is good, and Scott Speedman, and I like the look. Yeah, I think A is a good spot for it.
Yeah. Austin?
I can't be that generous. I mean, look, I'll say this. The Underworld movies, they're better than the Twilight movies. They're better, for the most part, than the Resident Evil movies. I'll give it that. And, if I had to watch one series over another. The first one and the second one are probably the best overall. But even then, it's not above like a B. Like, it's fine. It's fine. It just kind of does that dark action shit. I just think it's kind of copying a lot of other things. I can't go above a B, but I'm not going to knock it too bad. I mean, it's you know, it's watchable. It's all right. There's worse stuff out there. You know, you put some of those Resident Evil movies up there, and like it's way worse. So yeah, I'll go B.
Yeah. So back in the day when I used to work at a Hollywood Video, before movie theater, before I worked at a movie theater, yeah, right. But we had this guy that would come in to the movie store all the time. He's kind of one of a regular. He'd always hype up all these movies. Man, he would go crazy for Underworld. Like he'd be like, "You got to see Underworld. Have you seen it yet?" No, I haven't seen it yet. You got to watch it. Like it's really, really good. It's like one of the best movies I've ever seen. I went to go watch it. And I'm like, okay, well that was a movie. That was something. And I'm like I was not that high on it. But like I don't think that it's terrible. Like I actually like really dig that poster there too. Like her in front of the giant moon. Like for some reason I just like oversized moon shots like that because I don't know. I just kind of do. But yeah, there's nothing that I'm really just like raving over. Like it's just kind of a cool, kind of dark, like take on some vampire stuff. I've never been even a huge vampire person myself in general. So, but it's not terrible as I don't know as I thought that it would maybe be. So I'll say B tier.
Okay.
Yeah, Len Wiseman has had an interesting career. Like before, while he got his start, before he did movies and music videos, he had credits as the assistant to props on Independence Day and Godzilla.
Oh wow! Assistant to props.
So not even the prop guy. He's like the assistant to the prop. He like brings the prop guy's coffee.
He was assistant to props in Independence Day, but then he was props on Godzilla. But
we got a promotion.
Have that job. Would rather have that job than my current job.
Yeah,
but he also definitely had an interesting career post Total Recall. But I don't know if his career actually went on to decline so that quickly. Because he did do TV series he did direct Sleepy, was the creator and producer of Sleepy Hollow, that series.
Oh yeah,
and then he directed a few episodes of. Then he directed episodes of Lucifer, APB, The Gifted, and Swamp Thing. That short-lived TV show that can be. Well, I don't know about those movies. I haven't the other shows, but anyway, I've been on a little bit of tangent. I look when it comes to the Underworld movies. I did really enjoy this first one. Then I saw the sequels and they just sort of went downhill for me. But I would throw Richie a bone here and give A to Underworld.
I'll take that bone. Thank you. Yummy.
Well,
all right. 3 A's and 3 B's, but we'll sneak it over into the A because you know it's kind of we sneak it when we have a thing like that. We sneak it over to the person who nominated, so we leave it an A. So there you go.
Team America.
Yeah, I guess these movies sneakily make enough money to keep making them because there's 6 of them, and like it's because they all cost what I can see like $30 to $50 million roughly, and they all seem to worldwide make a little over 100. So they make enough money to just keep going. So I mean. Yeah, it's weird.
The 4th one was mediocre at best, and the 5th one was just awful.
Yeah. The blood war and shit.
They should have made a video game of this series. Like that's one I think could have used. Because Resident Evil, you know, and then they should have had this, but I don't know.
I think they did, but it didn't. Yeah, usually video games and movies are pretty shit. It's kind of
yeah.
Apparently, there is another one in the works.
God, a 7th one? Enough already.
But it's
and stuff.
Well, yeah. I was just quickly reading up about this at the end of the Wikipedia page I found, but in 2017, he said the director said the 6th film is in development of Beckinsale Rising. Then in 2018, Beckinsale said she will not appear in another movie. Going, I won't return. I've done plenty of those. Then last year, she backtracked, saying she wasn't opposed to reprising the roles.
All right.
They probably gave him more money. Like, actually, I could probably.
Oh, you brought a second dump truck to my yard. All right, sure, I'll come back. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll move on to Mr. Mesa for your next pick, sir. What do you got?
So I'm going to pick out one of my favorite movies that came out in 2004, and that's going to be Kung Fu Hustle.
Okay.
Kung Fu
Yeah.
Hustle is such a great time, and I think this is it's like there's portions of musical going on. There's a little bit of fantasy. There's hidden warriors in slums that are just beating the shit out of gangsters, and I really I think this might be the I'll say it's probably better than Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon in terms of the best kung fu movie of the 2000s, in my opinion. It's Stephen Chow is such a comedic genius, and I love. My favorite part is that there's a little bit of subtext of English. They say English lines, and the characters are not understanding what these people are saying. Like the part where one of the guys saying are repeating the same line from Sean Connery. What are you willing to do? And then the guy, I don't know what you're talking about. I only speak Chinese. What are you talking about? It's English. So the fact that it's a really good. I love that scene that riffs off the Untouchables, and it has amazing. I mean, CGI might not be, might be a little dated, but I mean, come on, let's stop for any of us to enjoy our favorite movies. So yes, Kung Fu Hustle.
Okay.
Sure.
All right. Steven Shepard, what do you think?
Unfortunately, I haven't seen it.
Yep. Awesome.
One of the few 4 or 5 movies on the list I have not seen. It has escaped me, and I've never sat down and watched it. I'm sorry, Steve, but I have not seen it. I have to abstain.
Well, we'll see if we get enough of them because I also have not seen it, so I can't say anything. Malcolm?
Yeah, I've seen this once. I don't really remember a lot about it. I remember thinking it's fine. So I'm just going to go B.
Yeah.
Richie?
Yeah, I've seen Kung Fu Hustle. I really enjoyed it. I like Stephen Chow. I like his work. It's very much even though it's not Stephen Chow, it's very much in the vein of like Kung Pao and the first kind of deal. But I like it. It is really fun. I remember really enjoying it. And also, apparently there's a sequel still coming out.
Really?
As late as from April 2022, there was a report saying that it's still coming. So we'll see what happens. So there's a lot of it's a very kind of on brand for sequels to come out ages after the original. I don't know why that happens these days, but anyway, cool. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's a decent film. I really enjoyed it. I don't have as fond memory of it to put it in S tier, but I would go A.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, so it does have 3 votes at least, so it doesn't get knocked down into the haven't seen tier, so just escape that. But SAB, it's right in the middle in an A, so it's going to get down to right in the middle in an A right there. We will go to Mr. Shepard. What do you got?
Yeah.
Which one am I going to? You know what? All right, I saw Jordan had apparently watched this earlier today on Facebook, so we'll see what people think of this. I personally love it, and that's Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. I know. I want to say it's here. I don't know if it's one of the ones that got left off. Actually.
Yeah, no, it's right there. It's right there next to Spider-Man.
Open around it. It's near Spider-Man.
Oh yeah. For some reason I was reading SWAT and like saying that. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
All right, Steven.
Yeah, I love that this movie has kind of a retro feel, very old, Indiana Jones feel, but it also has a very, kind of sleek, futuristic look to it as well, with giant robots and, it's just a visually stunning movie and it's a really fun adventure. Jude Law and Gwyneth Paltrow have great chemistry, and you have Giovanni Ribisi who plays kind of like
your favorite actor.
My favorite actor. Oh my god.
Bring him up. Yeah.
The thing about Giovanni Ribisi, he's kind of like the Q to Law's Bond, except they're a little closer to each other. And yeah, I just think the movie is just lots of fun from start to finish.
Yeah. Austin, what do you think?
Okay, so I knew Steve was going to bring this up, so I blind bought the Blu-ray because I had never seen it, and I watched it the other night. I got to be honest, I fell asleep halfway through, and I was like, this was like 2:00 in the afternoon. I thought the visual stuff was interesting at first, but then it kind of started to bother me because the movie felt foggy. Like I couldn't, like it was very, very washed out. It's like very washed out and like just gray, and I thought it was kind of ugly looking. Honestly, like I like the retro stuff to a degree, but like I thought this movie was kind of ugly. Like when you watch it today, it just looks. It's very, very green screen. Like everybody's standing directly in front of a green screen for most of the movie, and I wasn't really into it. Some of the action was okay. To be fair, like I rewound it once I woke up and started where I ended up and finished it. But I wasn't really into it that much, man. I know this movie has like a cult following, so I did want to see it because I knew it would probably come up. I can't go higher than a C, man. I thought it was all right, but it's even on Blu-ray, yeah, this movie just looked weird. It had a weird vibe to it. I'm not one of the cult people that's going to be into this, man. So I'm sorry, Steven. I'd watched it for you, but I wasn't into it. So
that's totally a poster quote. I fell asleep, Austin Howell.
Yeah, that's right. I fell asleep. I did.
We're in the back of the 4K UHD that's going to come out next year. I fell asleep. Awesome.
Yeah, I fell asleep. Yeah.
Well, I'm kind of with you, Austin. I watched it earlier today, and like I found myself being like kind of bored by this movie. Like I just wasn't really into it that much. I mean, yeah, and it looks really washed out. Looks really foggy. Like I don't know what to do with that is, but I mean, I think part of it's kind of to make it look a little more. I don't know, like give it a certain sheen or like. And it kind of reminds me of like some. They're going for like I don't know what a like in the 50s if you were making like an old like 20s sci-fi type of movie or something like that along those lines, because I almost wanted to say steampunk. It's not that, but it's just kind of an old-fashioned kind of like sci-fi kind of vibe. And I mean like that's kind of cool. I mean, but like honestly, like sorry Austin, like probably my favorite thing out of the movie was his actually Giovanni Ribisi, but the thing is, he didn't really have that much to do. He just kind of came and like stood around, give him some gadgets. He had one scene where he found one of the like robot's guns and shot him and would figure out how to kind of defeat these robots. But I mean, yeah, and like, I don't really think that it's the fault of any of the actors. I think all the actors, Jude Law and Gwyneth Paltrow, even Angelina Jolie, they're all like doing their best with what they have. I just don't know if the movie's very well written, and it's just kind of, I don't know, it's just like kind of interesting. So yeah, I can't go higher than a C. I think C is where I gotta put it. So, but
Malcolm,
haven't seen it.
Okay, Richie.
I saw it when it came out. I do not remember much of it. I remember thinking I was. I remember obviously not being that entertained by it. I guess I mean, I could probably appreciate the aesthetic they're going for more now, but yeah, back then it was too jarring for me. I was just like, oh, what the fuck? When is this old movie? It's too weird, too blurry, too foggy for me. I don't get it. But so I don't really have that affinity for it. I understand sort of cult following now. Maybe I'll give it a rewatch one day. But yeah, I'll go see.
Yeah, like it always reminds you of like you get one of those old timey radio shows kind of brought to life when they're like calling the Sky Captain, like incoming, here we go. Yeah, just that kind of thing. But
all right.
But
Steve.
The fact that this movie is the fact that Flash Gordon is a better movie than this movie makes you know how, I don't know what it was. People were high trying to make this movie. People were smoking a lot of amphetamines, meth. I don't know what's going on with that movie, but I mean, dude, I haven't seen this horrible cinematography in an action sci-fi movie since fucking Solo. Good lord,
it was bad.
This was like Solo was so dark. This was so fucking foggy. What the hell, dude? It's like they let a fog machine. It's like they carried, like it was required to bring a fog machine film print that the movie theater brought that was brought to the movie theater. Yeah, sorry, Steve. I might even give it worse. I give it a D.
Oh,
All right.
I feel sorry for Steve. We just fucking just took it down.
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, the movie has a cult following. Steven is that cult following on this panel. So, somebody on it likes it, and he's champion.
Yeah,
I can appreciate him too. I've stuck my neck out there for movies on here that nobody else agreed with, so I can appreciate that. You know?
We got an S. We got 2.
We got an S, three C's, and a D.
3 C's, okay.
We could be generous and put it in the B tier. I mean, he did give it an S. I don't know. Let's be generous to Steven. It's not going to make it in the S tier.
Sure.
Fine, Spike is. Come on, throw him a bone at least for Sky. He likes Sky Captain.
Yeah,
But it's got to go at the bottom of the S tier, I feel like.
well,
Me too. Yeah, that's fine. No, I understand. But we'll be nice to him. Yeah. All right. So before I get to my actual pick, that F tier is getting really lonely. Can we all just agree on at least one movie for that F tier before I get to my actual pick? So the worst movie on this list is clearly Battlefield Earth. I mean, come on, can we just put it in there?
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
I mean, I don't think it's the worst movie on the list, but it's fine.
It's pretty close. And name a worse one.
Yeah.
Fucking terrible, dude.
Well, that and Catwoman. You can put Catwoman in there too.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think Catwoman is worse than Battlefield.
Hey, can we also put Van Helsing in there too?
Oh yeah, that movie sucks.
Oh yeah.
Let's not get crazy here.
What about League of Extraordinary Gentlemen? Let's do it. Let's get.
Yeah, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen can go in there. That movie sucks.
House of the Dead too. That movie is.
Bro,
Oh yes.
have you guys seen the worst Fast and Furious ripoff called Biker Boys? I saw that shit in the theater. That movie blows too.
Honestly, I haven't seen it.
There's also another Fast and Furious ripoff on here.
Torque sucks too.
I mean, I don't.
Gentlemen, I don't know if it's an F. It's like a D.
Yeah, for me, I actually would go C. I think it's a
Or C.
mediocre
Yeah. But like House of the
I just think House of the Dead can be in the F tier. That movie sucks. It both sucks. I mean, I just feel like some of those lower tiers were getting a little lonely. We had to throw something there before the end of the show. So real quick,
Sure.
I didn't want to make that my official pick, but I just wanted to throw that out there, see if everybody agreed.
Yeah.
So those three are fine.
Yeah.
All right. So all right, real quick for my actual pick, I'll go with another one that I have on my top 128 that I love. Another sci-fi movie from 2004. I'm gonna go iRobot. The Will Smith movie.
Right.
I was thinking about it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this movie fucking rules. Like I really like the actual story of him being like the one guy that's kind of crying out that this robot rebellion is going to happen and kind of being right about it and being right most of the movie. And I think the action sequences in it are actually pretty good. A lot of the chases with like the motorcycles and that tunnel sequence is pretty good. I like the design of the robots. I like the revelation that he's got like a robot arm. The actual rebellion stuff is a lot of fun. I like seeing Shia LaBeouf get his ass kicked in the one scene where he tries to be a hero and he just gets like punched across a whole city block. That's fun. I mean, I think there's some really good stuff here. It's got some dark spots that I like, and I like this movie a lot. I think it's still kind of underrated, and I think people kind of low key love it. So, iRobot, S tier. I'm gonna give it a shot.
Yeah. I'm kind of with you. Like, iRobot is a lot of fun too, and also shout out Alan Tudyk as the voice of the robot Sonny too, and
Alan Tudyk.
I almost forgot that Shia LaBeouf was even in this movie.
He's just like his buddy that he kind of like runs into occasionally, but he brings out like a chain or a bat or something with like all these people that are like, we're not going back inside, and then like the robot like punches him across the street. Like it's pretty great.
And also has some like really cool sequences, like the sequence when he's like driving through the tunnel and all the robots attack his car and stuff. That's really cool. And like seeing some of the stuff at the end when he makes it to the headquarters or where the robots are being built or whatever. So yeah, like this movie, like I would give it an S tier. I wouldn't necessarily put it high on the S tier, but I used to have, like, funny enough, used to have a big poster that before I moved out of my parents' house, I just got this poster and I just hung it up. I didn't even ask them, and they're like, "What are you doing? Hanging that up?" I'm like, "This movie's awesome. We're hanging it up in here." So they like put it in their big TV room. So yeah, I'll say S tier for iRobot. So, yeah,
I do really enjoy iRobot. I think this is this gets really lost in the shuffle when it comes to Will Smith movies. I'm not going to go as high as an S though. I will go A because, but yeah.
Okay. Richie?
I mean, considering I was thinking about bringing it up, and I do generally like it. I think I agree with Malcolm. It does get lost in the filmography of Will Smith and talk about great movies. I still wish we got a sequel, or just a continuation of that sort of story with its characters. Because I like the characters here. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe we get that eventually when many of the things died down with Will Smith. Which I already had. It kind of already has. I think he'll be back. He'll be back working soon. I'll agree. I'll say yes.
The goddamn robots, John.
Yeah, yeah.
Steve?
So here's the thing. Directed by Alex Proyas. And I will never, ever, 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 ever forgive him for his name making me want to watch Knowing.
Yeah, Knowing sucks.
The fact that he directed
the
Knowing,
ending.
it went from iRobot to Knowing. It's just sorry. I'm gonna degrade it down to a B.
Well, because of his other movie? What about this movie?
Because of another movie.
Yeah.
This
Can you
movie-
really knock him for another movie? Because I get it. You can have a bad director make one really good movie.
It was all right when I saw it in theaters. It was all right when I saw it on DVD. It's all right. So
All right. Yeah.
B, all right.
and he directed Knowing, so B.
He directed God's Agent. It's far worse. Anyway.
Yeah. True. But Steven, what do you think?
Well, he directed Knowing, but he also directed The Crow and Dark City.
Yeah.
So he had a good start.
So he had a good start and it just plateaued after.
I don't knock Gladiator because Ridley Scott directed The Counselor.
Oh,
You know, like I just think that's weird. You know, like I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's also talk about Alien Covenant. Hello.
Yeah. I mean, Steven Spielberg directed 1941. That's not a knock against Minority Report as a movie. I mean,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it happened before, so you're gonna say anything that happens after that's a whole different story. If anything that happens after he directed a good movie, it's like, you know.
All right. All right,
I mean,
Steven.
he directed Gods of Egypt. I'm not knocking iRobot.
Yeah.
To each their own.
Yeah. All right, Steven.
iRobot's another one of those good, not great movies, mostly because of the some of the visual effects just looked a little too artificial looking to me. And I don't know, maybe if I watch the movie again now, I might feel differently. But I wasn't a huge fan of the twist involving, why the robots, were doing what they're doing. What the whole, protecting humanity from itself. It's been a while since I've seen the movie, but I didn't like that.
You nailed the nail on the head. It's pretty much the twist of every sci-fi movie coming up after this movie. So you pretty much nailed it.
So
A
yeah,
lot of movies follow that. Yeah.
so yeah, I think a B is because it's still good. It's just not great.
Yeah. Well, what are the votes at?
3 S's, an A, and 2 B's. So yeah,
where it is, or
well, kinda, because it's starting to get to that point where some of those are going to have to get knocked because that S tier is getting loaded, and with that and the 2 Bourne movies are probably going to get knocked right now. Yeah.
long.
So yeah, those both are probably going to get knocked at this point because there's more stuff that has higher ratings at this point overall. So
We can kind of see. I don't know. Like, let's see.
Well, I mean, we can't have 12 in the S tier, so I mean, you might as well knock them. I mean,
all right. I'm gonna say, like, we can kind of see. I thought they were on the same level as like Collateral too, but maybe not.
Well, Collateral is also still hanging. It's 3 and 3. It's 3 S's and 3 A's, so it's still on the razor wire as well. And Gladiator's a little higher than that, but the other 2 have 3 S's and then like A's and B's, so that's why it's probably going to get to this point. So just for now, we'll see what happens. So Jordan, what do you got?
Man, who would have thought both Bourne movies might not make S? Ooh.
Maybe.
But anyways, so like I don't know if I should go with my like clear guilty pleasure that nobody's gonna agree with, and like shoot my shot because I already know what some people think about a certain movie, or if I should just go with a clear like one that everyone's gonna.
Well,
agree
if
with me.
if it's a totally clear one, then you might as well leave it for the Hail Mary, because if everybody will agree, then just shoot your
Yeah, but
shot for who you want to talk about. I mean,
But I almost feel like it like I already know like exactly what people are gonna say, so it's kind of almost a wasted pick.
Shoot your shot.
Well,
I know.
Steven shot his shot with Sky Captain and got his thoughts out there. He's championed the movie. Maybe he got a few people to go back and do
All
it.
right. But
I shot my shot for Spy Kids. So.
Yeah, right.
Are you going to
I
go double
guarantee
take?
nobody on this panel will agree with this pick, so I guarantee you. Like, but I'll go for it. I'm gonna go with the movie Double Take. You've heard me talk about it before. So yeah, like this movie for whatever reason, like it just hits my funny bone. Like I just laugh pretty hard. I like some of the sequence when they have to switch places and especially Eddie Griffin trying to act like the like rich guy too, like and then. If Orlando Jones being like, no slit malt liquor, how you supposed to run a successful business if you ain't got no slit malt liquor? And he's trying to act more like the ghetto kind of character, and then you haven't like Eddie Griffin kind of acting like the Grey Poupon kind of like a kind of uppity kind of rich guy, and then like they're just like some of the most random scenes where they end up at like down across the border in Mexico where they're like at this place where they have like an emu farm, and like all these drug lords come to this emu farm and they're having like a big battle there. And there's just all these random lines out of nowhere, like Mother's Cookies, Mother's damn cookies. You got to watch the Mother's Cookies truck, and it's never what it's they say it is. And like all these guys come out of these trucks, and it's like I think it's a lot of fun. But like I doubt anyone's gonna agree with me. I would actually say S because I love this movie. Like it just makes me. We laugh. I think it's fun. I don't know. It's just a fun ride. So we'll see. I don't know. But
just a point of order. I heard him talk a lot about the comedy, nothing about the action.
Well, the action, like down in Mexico, when they come out of the trucks with all their guns, and there's a shootout there. Like there's all that stuff in there. So yeah. But Malcolm, what do you think?
I have no opinion on this movie, good or bad. I haven't seen it.
All right. Yeah. Well. Maybe not enough of you have seen it, but Richie.
Yeah, look, I'm almost tempted to go. Like, I'm not gonna shit on it, but I'm almost tempted to go not an action movie, but last time.
There's an argument for it.
There's enough there where it's like barely skirting an action comedy. You know what I mean? Like there's enough. There's enough.
I'll give you the benefit of the doubt and vote, but like I don't hold it in high regard. I don't think it's a great movie. I will say C, and I'm being generous.
Yeah, or like there's a scene where he's like talking to the nun before he gets on the train, and they're like, yeah, there's a lot of first times, and then he's like, yeah, there's the first time for everything, and like slaps the nun on the ass, and then like runs off on the train. Like for me, like it's probably more about the comedy, but it does have action. It's an action comedy. So.
Yeah, I see.
But Steve,
no. Is there a category for just no?
No. Yeah.
There is one.
Yeah, D. Sorry.
It's called F tier. It's just no. But
they're funny but stupid. But I'm gonna be generous. You put your shot out there, but I'm giving it a D.
Yeah. Steven?
So I had a list of movies I've seen and movies I haven't seen. And then I came to Double Take. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure I've seen this movie, but I don't remember it at
That sounds about right.
So I put it on the haven't seen list. So I'll just say haven't seen.
Yeah. Well, Austin.
Yeah, I saw this movie once in the theaters. I have not gone back to revisit it. There was a time and period where somehow Hollywood tried to make Orlando Jones a thing, and we all remember that for about 2 or 3 years.
Moana Man.
Yeah, Moana Man. Right after that, ugh, God.
Mad TV, just keep them on there.
Evolution. I liked Evolution.
Oh yeah,
Evolution's okay. But yeah, I mean, I just remember in the theater just being like, this movie is gloriously unfunny, and there's like a lot of energy on the screen, but it's like wasted energy. It's like if you were sitting in your driveway and you were gassing your engine in neutral. Like there's a lot of energy, but it's not going anywhere. they're throwing shit against the wall. It's like a D at best, and I'm being generous with that because I like Eddie Griffin to a degree. I like Undercover Brother a lot. Actually, like that's where most of my generosity comes from. But yeah, I just think this movie is painfully kind of unfunny, and I don't remember a single action sequence from it. I know there was, but I don't remember anything. So yeah,
it's all in the second half. Like they end up at a house at the end, and they're like shooting each other, like sort of like Bad Boys. There's an ending kind of similar to that.
Mm-hmm.
So.
The only thing that sucks now is this movie came out now. I'd be able to like look at my phone, but like I didn't even have a phone to look at in 2001. So I'm just kind of stuck in the theater watching this movie. So I mean, I watched it. But yeah, I applaud your effort, Jordan. I applaud your effort. Maybe you've convinced one or two people watching to go rewatch it. Maybe, but yeah, I applaud your effort, sir. Come on, you got to put the ones out there that are all over the place. That's fun.
Yeah. So what did you rank it though?
D. So yeah, it's like S, a C, and two Ds. Yeah.
So we could say
go C.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. We'll put it there, but yeah, that's not
okay. So we're literally almost right at the 2-hour mark. Shall we jump into the Hail Mary last chance round, or do you guys want to go another round?
I'll need to do that.
One more round.
I'll need to do how I probably need to do Hail Mary because I got to go soon. But
he's got to go soon. Okay, so all right. So we're gonna go into the Hail Mary round.
Just warn you, if you do Hail Mary now, I'm gonna have a lot. So
a lot for this decade, really? A lot more?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right. I got like 4 more.
That's a lot.
Okay. All right. So I'm probably going to put a cap at 8 or 10, Jordan. Just to save some time. Just be selective. Be selective.
Like maybe not as much because a lot of them have been talked about already. So.
All right. So, but anyways, how it works for anybody that needs to know. So, of the movies that are still left on the list, so take a look at that messenger list. If there's anything you think is either S tier or at least a strong A, I would say it needs to be like a strong A. Like we're kind of shooting high for your Hail Marys. So, anything you still want to shout out that you think should go in there. And again, we've had stuff get overwhelming votes and get shot up there. So, we'll see what happens. But make a little list. I will write down all the movies that get mentioned, and I will look for those crossovers. So that's what I'm going to be looking for is crossovers. So even if you agree with somebody's pick that has already been mentioned, say I agree with that one, so and so, and I will get it on the list, and we will do official votes on it, very, very rapid fire style. So yeah, I will look for the crossovers, write them down, and then we will go from there. Does it kind of make sense to everybody? So yeah, I would say try to keep it at 8 or 10, something like that. Let's keep it reasonable. Let's keep it reasonable. Not too many.
A lot more good movies than I thought in this decade.
So, all right. So we'll start with if you're ready, Malcolm. Otherwise, we can come back to you. If anybody's not ready, we can come back around to you. But if you're ready, Malcolm, I can go to you first. But if you're not, let me know, and we'll move on to somebody else.
Probably go to someone else.
Okay, Richie, are you set?
I've got 4 so far, but if you scroll down, I can get some more. I got my one.
Okay.
Oh, here, let me
scroll a little bit.
Yeah, let me do that here.
Okay, stop right there for a second. Let him look over.
Yeah.
And
hang on. There's probably only a couple more, really. Not really.
Scroll down a little bit more.
We can kind of see. There's a couple more.
Okay, I should go there.
There's a lot.
I wish we could lump all Lord of the Rings as one movie.
I know, yeah, that's what I'm kind of thinking. They all deserve a spot in the S.
I think I got what I want.
Okay, if you're ready, Richie, I'll write them down. You can let me know.
All right. Rush Hour 2.
All right.
Lord of the Rings 2 Towers.
Okay. All right.
Blade 2.
Okay.
Hellboy.
All right.
Shanghai Noon.
All right.
Spider-Man.
Okay.
And Pirates of the Caribbean. And the Rundown as well. Sorry, I just saw that there.
Oh, the Rundown? Okay, gotcha. So Pirates of the Caribbean and the Rundown. All right, I got it. Okay. Malcolm, are you ready, or do you need another minute?
Yeah, oh, I'm ready.
Okay, go ahead, Malcolm. I got you.
So I've got to throw out Charlie's Angels, Gone in 60 Seconds, Shanghai
Okay,
Noon.
hang on. Slow down just a tad. I got to write them all down. So, okay. Give me just at least 3 seconds to write them down. Okay. All right. So, Gone in 60 Seconds. What was the next one?
Charlie's Angels.
Well, I said you got those two. What was the other one?
Shanghai Noon and Shanghai Nights.
Okay. All right. Noon and Nights. Okay.
X-Men and X-Men 2.
Okay.
Rush Hour 2.
All right.
And laugh all you want, but I really do like this installment, Die Another Day.
Yeah.
Christ.
Love that surfing scene, don't you, Malcolm?
That's decent. When Halle Berry walks up out of the water, that's a nice thing.
What a great action sequence. Yeah.
The first half of that movie is definitely S tier.
And the last one I'm going to throw out, they're good pleasures of mine, so I don't expect any crossovers with these ones. Matrix Reloaded and Revolutions.
All right. All right. All right, Mr. Mesa, what do you got, sir?
I got X2, X-Men United.
Okay.
I've got Once Upon a Time in Mexico.
All right.
I've got Hero.
Hero.
I've got The Italian Job.
All right.
I've got The House of Flying Daggers.
Okay.
I got Romeo Must Die.
Okay.
Shaft.
Shaft. All right.
And The Punisher.
Punisher. Okay. All right. Okay. Mr. Shepard, are you ready, sir? Think so?
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah.
All right. I guess I narrowed it down.
Okay.
That's like me too. I got like 15, but I'll narrow it down to 8 or something.
I said 8 to 10, so I have 10.
Yeah. 10, 8 to 10.
Okay, I've got Reign of Fire, Equilibrium,
Okay.
Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones.
Oof. Oof.
Yeah.
I love the action in that movie.
Yeah. Got great action. It does.
Does it? I don't know.
Yeah.
That.
That many Jedis on the battlefield in the like Colosseum place or whatever. That's awesome.
I mean, it's just as good as Die Another Day.
Yeah.
The Matrix Reloaded.
All right.
Once Upon a Time in Mexico.
Nice.
Man, we're gonna have a long Hail Mary.
Yeah, we've been doing that a lot lately.
That's fine. That's my favorite part. So.
All right.
Man on Fire. Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines.
Oof.
That movie's underrated.
That's
I don't know
it.
if I nominated, but it's underrated.
Yeah.
The Last Samurai. I know people hate on this one, but I love Mission Impossible 2, especially for its action. And another one that people hate on that I like, Star Trek Nemesis.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, let's see.
All right.
So it's hard having to leave off National Treasure, but I guess 10 is 10.
Yeah. There's a couple that I want to mention that are my A's, but I'm only going for S's.
Yeah, I don't have too many. I'll second a few. I'll second Pirates of the Caribbean. I'll second The Two Towers. I'll second The Rundown. X2. Troy. And Battle Royale.
Oh yeah, I forgot that was on there. I'll second Battle Royale. I didn't know it was on there, so give it.
Okay. All right.
I need to see that. I've never seen it.
It's great. It's the Hunger Game, better than the Hunger Games.
Yeah. That's what I've heard. It's good.
All right, Jordan.
All right. I'm trying my best. It's like, do I nominate all 3 Lord of the Rings, or do I just pick one to represent? Because it's like when we're doing the championship, they all deserve to be there. So it's kind of, I don't know. But okay. I'll say Shanghai Noon, just the one. Gotta be freaking picky. I'll say X2. I'll say Behind Enemy Lines.
With the Miz?
No, not with the Miz.
Oh, okay.
yeah, not that one. Yeah,
First ever one.
yeah. Yeah, the one wasn't Gene Hackman. Yeah, but let's see. I'll say The Fast and the Furious. So the first original. Rush Hour 2. I gotta go with The Mummy Returns. I'm shocked you didn't say that one, Austin.
I don't, dude. That first one is so goddamn good that nothing can touch it. I'm sorry, Mummy Returns. Look, I'll defend it as a fun movie, but it's nowhere near S tier. It's not.
I like the second one better, but that's just me.
Oh,
God
damn it! Yeah, you love that rock CGI much better. Yeah, that Scorpion King CGI at the end of that movie.
Yeah.
Good
Remember
God.
when you tried to do the people's eyebrow in CGI?
Yeah.
yeah. Then I'll say The Matrix Reloaded. Let's see. I'll say Hellboy, and then also second, The Rundown. I'll go with The Italian Job.
Nice.
You should have said National Treasure, Steven, because I would have said it, but I'm gonna leave it off because it's not gonna make it. But for Lord of the Rings, let's go Two Towers. I'll say that. And The Last Samurai. I'll say. So that'll do it.
All right, so you guys need to talk amongst yourselves for a minute while I tally up these crossovers. So
I really want to say the other Lord of the Rings.
Talk amongst yourselves. I'll give you a topic. No, y'all can talk about whatever you want. Talk about double take some more.
Yeah.
It's funny because even though the Fellowship of the Ring is my least favorite of the 3, it probably has the best action in my opinion of the 3.
Two towers.
Yeah.
I
Two
mean,
Towers.
Two Towers, hello,
Two
Helm's
Towers.
Deep, hello.
Yeah.
Helm's Deep is a
Deep.
great sequence, and Return of the King has some incredible scenes too. But
the Fellowship has the Mines of Moria. That's pretty cool.
And that ending, especially when after Aragorn decapitates the whatever those things are.
Oh,
Look,
yeah.
Brian, just be every Spider-Man movie's in his 128. Just calm down.
Yeah. Yeah. I go for Spider. Well, we already have Spider-Man 2, so and I wanted to be somewhat picky, so I'm sad. I wanted to say that was one of mine.
Also, my point still stands. Just for every other Spider-Man movies that you can't run through anyways.
Yeah, I think I have every single one except The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Yeah. Oh yeah, and Spider-Man 3. There's no Spider-Man 3.
All right.
Yeah, that's not.
We choose to ignore Spider-Man.
And Brian, and it's probably going to spoil what I'm going to probably say when we get to it. There's a reason I didn't have any Lord of the Rings in my Hail Mary.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah,
Real quick, before I even put it on the list, who here has seen Battle Royale? So I won't bother then. I'll just leave it off. You guys. Well, I just wanted to test the waters on that because if enough people hadn't even seen it, I wasn't going to bother. It's just me and Richie.
Does it count that I was close to watching it before I came to do this show?
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, I was able to find it on Freevee, but I don't like Freevee because it has commercial breaks.
Well, some of the commercial breaks are okay. Tubi's all right. It doesn't have too many, but yeah, some of the Pluto's horrible.
Tubi's fine, but yeah, the Pluto's horrible.
Pluto sucks.
Like 4 and 5 minute commercial breaks every 3 minutes. It's like,
yeah, it's really bad.
I'm okay. I'm okay with watching a movie with commercial breaks if I've seen it already, but I don't want to see a movie for the first time with commercial.
I know. Why do you think I blind buy so much, Steven? I now own Sky Captain on Blu-ray, along with everything else. All right, I think I have everything. So let me count 1.
It's gonna be a lot.
Well, it's 11. We've had some that had like 15. It's 11. So it's 11 movies. So but again, this is rapid fire style. So we're literally just going up the same order each time. We'll start with Malcolm, and all I want's a letter grade. So
I'll go through this, but I won't be able to stick around for your the kind of weird position.
Oh, the deliberation. No, I got you.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine. All right. So we'll start with Curse of the Black Pearl, Little Pirates. Malcolm.
Yes.
All right. Richie.
S.
Steve.
Let's bring it.
Okay. Steven.
A.
I'll go S.
And I will say S.
Okay, 4 S's and 2 A's. It's above.
It's gonna be up there. Yeah.
It's around Gladiator.
It's around Gladiator. So
It's around Gladiator and the Transporter. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, it's a good thing. Again, for people who want to like Mesa, it's a good thing I keep notes. I keep track of all these.
Yeah, right. Yep, that's a good thing.
We'd be screwed. Yeah. All right, got a little handy dandy chart. Okay, we will go with the final El Mariachi movie, Once Upon a Time in Mexico. Malcolm.
Haven't seen it.
Okay, Richie.
Haven't seen it either.
Steve.
S.
Okay. Steven.
I'll give it an S.
Okay. B.
And I'll say A.
Okay, so
that put it. Let me find
2 S's, an A, and a B. At this point, again, it probably needs at least 3 to even be considered for S tier. So it's probably
It's beside
A.
National Treasure.
Worth a shot.
There you go.
It's a shot.
A, right?
Kind of mid-high A. Yeah, somewhere around there. All right.
Well,
So, all right. Next, we will go with the one Lord of the Rings movie that was mentioned more than once. So we will go with The Two Towers. Malcolm.
Not an action movie.
Yes, it is.
That's why. What?
You said just let it grade. I'll explain later.
Are you high?
You
Yeah, you high? You're smoking.
There's a 50-minute action scene at the end of that movie. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's almost an hour long. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the whole third act. What are you talking about? Anyways, Richie.
S.
Yeah. Steve.
S.
Yeah. Steven.
S.
Austin.
Yeah, even as an action movie, I'll go S. Yes.
Yeah.
That action seems incredible.
Yeah. That is an S. Come on.
Yeah. All right. It's a clean sweep besides Malcolm, so it'll be up in that top 4 or 5 right there for consideration. So
Yeah.
all right. We will go with, it squeaked in at the last second, The Last Samurai. Malcolm.
Awesome.
B.
Richie.
I'll go A.
Okay. Steve.
Here it is.
B.
Okay. Steven.
S.
I'll go B.
And I'm gonna say S. So
2 S's, an A, and 3 B's is kind of like mid-A. Yeah, if you want to put it up there. So we will go next to another sequel. Starting with Malcolm, we'll go with X2, X-Men United. Malcolm.
S.
All right. Richie.
S.
And Mr. Mesa.
S.
Okay. Steven.
A.
Okay. I'll go S. It was one of mine.
yeah, and I'll say S.
All right. 5 S's and an A. It's right up there with something that had almost exactly the same as that. Like The Incredibles. Yeah, almost right up there with The Incredibles.
Yeah.
So, All right. We will go to Rush Hour 2. Malcolm.
A.
Richie.
A.
Okay. Steve.
B.
Steven.
B.
A.
And I'm gonna say S. So
All right. S, 3 A's and 2 B's. It's mid-A.
mid-A. All right.
Mid-A. We will go to another Jackie Chan film. Shanghai Noon is the one that made it on the list. Malcolm.
S.
Richie.
A.
Mesa.
B.
Steven.
I like Knights more. A.
And I'll go A.
And I'll say S.
All right, 2 S's, 3 A's, and a B. Also puts it in kind of a upper A.
Mid A.
Yeah, mid upper A. All right. We will go with one of The Rock's earliest movies, The Rundown. Malcolm.
B.
Richie.
S.
Mesa.
B.
Steven.
A.
I think that's his best movie of this era, S.
Yeah.
I think it's his best movie, period.
Yeah. And I'm also going to say S. I saw this movie 3 times in theaters. So. S.
Okay,
It's
so
not working in theaters.
3 S's, an A, and 2 B's. It's not going to be S tier, but it might be up with those Bourne movies in the A tier, something like that.
Yeah.
Something around there.
Right there.
Kind of near the Bourne Identity, sort of. All right. The Italian Job just squeaked in there. Malcolm.
C.
Richie.
B.
Okay. Mesa.
S.
All right. Steven.
B.
I'll go B.
I'm going to say S.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let's go.
2 S's, 3 B's, and a C. Maybe skirts an A, but it's like right at the bottom. So,
Okay.
yeah. All right, Hellboy with Ron Perlman. Malcolm.
Haven't seen it.
Okay. Richie.
Okay.
A.
Okay. Mesa.
A.
All right. Steven.
Second one's better. B.
And I'm not a big fan of those movies. C.
I'll probably say A.
All right. So, I mean, 3 A's and a B and a C. Is it worth it? Maybe. I don't know.
I'll just throw it at the very bottom of A just for looks. But
All right. And I think the final one we will go today. Let me just double check the list really, really quick and make sure I miss a crossover. I don't think I did. The last one will be The Matrix Reloaded. Had several votes. So, all right, Malcolm.
A.
Okay. Richie.
C.
Okay. Mesa.
A.
Okay. Steven.
A.
I'll go with A. There's good action in there.
I'm going to say S. I'm really high on it, so I can defend it. So.
All right. An S, 4 A's, and a C is again kind of mid low A, somewhere in there. And I think, yeah.
I gotta go now, man. But I'll.
All right, man. Thank you, Richie.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for
sticking around. All right.
If you have anything you want to plug real quick, you can, or you can just
If you want, I'll plug what you're on, Richie. I'll plug all the marks and all that stuff. I got you covered, buddy. No worries. All right, man. Have a good night. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll see you.
All right.
But I did want to have one little quick point of order. We were going to rank the second Kill Bill. I don't know if we want to do that, or if it's even worth it, but like, I don't know if you want to.
It wouldn't even touch
to do
the
it?
first one.
Well, no, but I'm just curious if anybody wanted to do it. If we don't, it's cool. I'm fine with it.
I'm fine. All right, so let me start with the ones that are safe in the S tier, at least by my estimation, based on the votes. I believe everything in that top 5 is safe because they all have at least 5 S votes. Old Boy, Kill Bill, or Old Boy has 4, but it was a clean sweep for the people who'd seen it. So, and Two Towers did. Kill Bill was a clean sweep with all 6. So Kill Bill might be, I don't know. We'll vote on maybe because let's see, Two Towers. Two Towers. Well, no. Well, Two Towers had five S votes as well.
All right. Yeah.
So we might have to vote between the two. We'll see. Minority Report was 5 and a D. So the one D hurts it as far as that goes. And then X2 was 5 S's and an A. So it's safe right there, probably around where it's at, but it'll be there. Incredibles.
right above
had
Minority
5
Report.
S's and a B. So
Yeah, it's a B, so it probably goes above Minority because that was 5 S's and a D.
had 5 S's and a D. So yeah, it does go above that. And then Spider-Man 2 had 4 S's, an A, and a B. So it's safe kind of where it is. Too Fast, Too Furious had about the same, 4 S's and 2 B's. So it's a little lower than Spider-Man, but right around where it is. Crouching Tiger had the 4 S's, but it had a C and a D, so that hurts it.
Okay.
As far as this goes. And then the Transporter had 3 S's and 2 A's. That was on the border along with those other ones. So we may have to vote on some of those borderline ones right there.
Yeah.
So between Pirates, Pirates had 4 S's and 2 A's. So it's actually going to get bumped up a little bit above Crouching Tiger. Yeah. So, and the Transporter, which was already on the border, I think the cutoff there is going to be right where it is with those 10 in the S tier. And the other ones are going to get cut off and then voted. We might have to vote on some of those. So
I do think, though, like when we're starting the honorable mention, will be like the bottom ones plus a couple of the top ones in the A, I feel like.
Well, we may vote on it because a lot of them were similar. Transporter was 3 and 2. Gladiator was 4 and 1. Gladiator had 4.
4. Well, yeah.
Gladiator had 4 and 1. So that might.
What did Crouching Tiger have, though?
Well, Crouching Tiger had 4 S's, a C, and a D. Gladiator goes above Crouching Tiger.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Yeah.
Okay, so
like, man, people might be pissed if we don't include Gladiator in our top.
Collateral had 3 and 3. Supremacy had 3 and 3. Identity had 3, 2, and 1. So those are all kind of on the border. iRobot had 3, 1, and 2, and Identity had 3, 2, 1. So they're all kind of similar in there. So what we could do is maybe vote out of
rundown.
The rundown was.
I was just curious on that.
It's around the same as Identity, 3, 1, 2.
Yeah, so that might be included. Maybe I don't know.
Maybe. So what we might do is out of those 7, we might vote for what 3 you would put in the honorable mentions, and I will keep track of the votes, and we'll see what kind of majority rules out of that. So those will be our ones for our potential honorable mentions. Everything else will be in the S up there. So let me get my paper. All right, let me get my paper out again, and let me lay these out. So Crouching Tiger, Transporter, Collateral. We have Born Identity, BS for Born Supremacy, and iRobot.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we are voting on again, just to be clear, out of those, and the rundown. I'm sorry, the rundown. My apologies.
Yeah.
Rundown. Okay. We are going to vote for the 3 you think should be the honorable mentions. Which 3 you think should be included in the honorable mentions in the poll? Out of those 7, basically the bottom of the S you see right there, Crouching Tiger, Transporter, Collateral, and those 4 in the A, Born Supremacy, Born Identity, iRobot, and Rundown. Vote for the 3 you think should be in the honorables. So Malcolm, which of those 7, which of the 3 would you vote for?
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Collateral, and iRobot.
Okay, sounds good. And Mr. Mesa, what would you vote for?
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Collateral, and Born Supremacy.
Born Supremacy. Okay, and Mr. Steven.
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Born Supremacy, and the Rundown.
Rundown. Okay. I would vote for the Transporter, iRobot, and the Rundown.
And let's see, I would vote for the Transporter, Born Identity, and the Rundown.
Okay, so we have 2 of them that had 3 votes, so they will make it. Crouching Tiger and the Rundown had 3 votes apiece. So
here, I'm just gonna scoot them all over here just to kind of.
Yeah.
So
we had Crouching Tiger and the Rundown, and then we had kind of a 4-way tie for the 2s, so we may have to vote on those. So we may have to re-vote one more time because we had a 4-way tie with 2 votes. So between the Transporter, Collateral, Born Supremacy, and iRobot.
Okay, so the Born Identity is out. Okay.
Yeah, so the Born Identity's out. Yes. Okay. So out of those 4, we're going to narrow it back down. Which one would you vote for to have that final spot? So again, Transporter, Collateral, Born Supremacy, iRobot. Malcolm.
Collateral.
Collateral. Okay. Mesa.
Collateral.
Collateral. Okay. Steven.
Born Supremacy.
We may have another tie. Transporter.
Well, just because the Born Identity got knocked out, I think I got to go Born Supremacy. So.
All right. Well, now we have a tie between Collateral and Born Supremacy. So, but we'll vote between the two, but it won't be a tie because we have 5 people. So at least we know that going into this. Yeah.
Well, what I will suggest, because Austin, you're the only one that didn't go for either Born Supremacy or Collateral, would you be the tiebreaker in this situation?
I guess I kind of would, because everybody would kind of vote the same, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll say
of those two, yeah. It's up to you.
No shaky cam, Collateral.
All right. You don't have any Bourne movies. Woo.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Just
we'll have to go. Well, we'll have to go high for the Bourne Ultimatum next time.
Yeah. All right. So that'll be our honorable mentions. Crouching Tiger, Rundown, and Collateral will be our honorable mentions. And everything else kind of lined up with the votes except for the top. So we're going to have to vote because they were sweeps between The Two Towers and Kill Bill Volume 1 and maybe Old Boy. And maybe Old Boy. Yeah. So out of those 3.
Just because someone hasn't seen it, I don't think that should knock it, really.
No. And I'm not. So, but X2 did have 1A, so that's out of the voting. So out of those 3, what would be everybody's number 1? Again, this is between Old Boy, The Two Towers, and Kill Bill. And let me line them all up so I can get the votes. Malcolm, what would you be your number 1?
Kill Bill Volume 1.
Okay. Mesa, what would be your number 1?
Kill Bill Volume 1.
Okay. Steven?
I think The Two Towers is a better movie, but as an action, I will also go with Kill Bill.
Okay. I would have gone Two Towers.
And then I would go Two Towers.
Okay, so it stays exactly where it is because Old Boy didn't get any votes. So it stays like that. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. And then we will do maybe one semantical vote for, just because it was pretty close initially for, I think between X2 and Incredibles for what takes the 4, because they were about the same. So maybe we run up and down for X2 or the Incredibles, what takes number 4. Malcolm.
Yeah.
X2.
Okay. Steve.
Incredibles.
All right. Steven?
X2.
Incredibles.
I'll say X2.
All right. Well, it stays the way it is. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, to kind of shut up, Papa was, we didn't get the Matrix Reloaded that high. We shut it out at the end, but it didn't
shut it out at the end, but it did not make it. It's down there in that shuffle of A tier right now. So
I said S, so you can have your beef with me. I was like the
I almost went S. I almost went S, but
Okay. All right. And most of the stuff actually, Gladiator was a little higher than Too Fast, so Gladiator needs to get bumped up over Too Fast.
Okay,
it had 4 and 1. Too Fast had 4 and 2, so that gets bumped up.
Okay, I was gonna say, Gladiator's got to be higher than Too Fast.
Yeah, and actually, Gladiator's higher than Spider-Man 2, just by 1 notch, by 1 notch. And Minority Report had that 5, but 1D, so it's about where it is right there. And then, like I said, Pirates of the Caribbean just skirted in. Well, actually, it skirts in near Gladiator. Had higher than Spider-Man 2, oddly enough, because it had 4 and 2, and Spider-Man had 4, 1, and 1. So there you go. That's pretty much everything else is lined up with the votes.
That sounds about right, because if Too Fast is going to make it, it's barely going to squeak in, I feel like.
Hey, it squeaked in.
Yeah, because there's a few surprises. I mean, yeah, like I said, Too Fast, I mean, the Rundown, like I didn't know people would be this high on that, which is cool.
It's a great movie. Yeah.
Yeah, so...
All right, and then a whole host of things in the A tier there. So as usual, a lot of things. Yeah. It's pretty good. So I think that's going to wrap it up. If you want me to break it down, and we'll kind of wrap this thing up, we'll do that.
Oh yeah, you can break it down for us. Yeah.
All right, so for our action movies this evening, 2004, at number 1, we have Kill Bill, Volume 1. At number 2, we have Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. Number 3, the Korean revenge film, Oh Boy. At number 4, we have X2, X-Men United. Number 5, we have Pixar's The Incredibles. Number 6, we have Steven Spielberg's Minority Report. Number 7, we have Ridley Scott's Gladiator. Number 8, we have Gore Verbinski's Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl. Number 9, Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2, just squeaking in there. Too Fast, Too Furious. I believe that's John Singleton directing that one. And then our honorable mentions for this evening are Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, The Rundown, and Collateral.
All right. Nice.
Good job, guys.
Yeah.
Nicely
Yeah,
done.
a fun time. So.
All right.
Solid list, actually.
Hey, we always seem to have a lot of diverse movies. We got a couple of comic books, got a Sword and Sandals, got a pirate movie, got a car movie, a Korean movie, got some Lord of the Rings, a little Tarantino throwback to those kung fu movies. Yeah, all kinds of random stuff in there. So I like it. Yeah, science fiction, all kinds of good stuff.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. So it's a solid list. So yeah, so these top 10, they'll be in the championship, and then the top 10 plus the 3 honorable mention will be in a poll over on the Shoutout Friends and Family group. So you can go and you can vote for those.
To your heart's desire, and tell us what we got wrong and what you would include and all kinds of stuff, and wonder why the Bourne movies didn't make it in there, all kinds of stuff. Whatever you want to do.
Yep.
Chastise.
Ultimatum is the best, and I'm sure that'll make the.
Well, it'll be on the list for the our next one, and it'll be our final in the action series. Yeah, we'll be we still got 05 to 09 coming up in our next one, and that'll be the final one before the championship, and then we'll be wrapping it up. So, and then we'll be ready after that to throw all the top 10s from, and we had to split a lot, so I think there's going to be 70 movies, something like that in that one. So yeah,
it'll be a bigger championship than we've had, but it'll be smaller than this actual tier right here. So
I think it'll actually be 80 because we split the 90s, we split the 2010s, and we split the 2000s. So, and I think 80s was all one, 70s was all one. So
yeah, the 2010s.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
We did.
We did split that. Yeah, you're right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it'll be about 80 movies, but it'll be 80 really solid movies, and then where it gets difficult.
It'll be tough. Yeah. Oh man. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't even want to think about that one yet. But
all right. Let's knock that thing off. Let's get our plugs out of the way, and we'll get out of here for this evening. Mr. Malcolm Lay, what do you got to plug, sir?
Yeah.
You can find me over on Take View Productions. I host Rankum every Saturday night. This week we're doing top shelf Owen Wilson movies. I was just waiting for someone to do the.
Yeah,
that's
right.
it.
There you go. Wow.
It took a while, but
wow. What's my movies? Wow. Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've reached out to him. I've reached out to him to see if he wanted to appear, but he hasn't heard me.
Yeah, it's got back to you yet.
No. But you can also find me hosting trivia over on Full Metal, even out with Random and Classic. Classic is going to be on Tuesday this week. And also you can find me back here tomorrow doing Top Shelf Frenzy.
Yeah, he's going to be hosting tomorrow night. Sounds good. Wow.
Anyway.
Top 12 Owen Wilson box office movies. Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
That'll be fun because then me and Austin both get a play. So
all right. Mr. Mesa, tell us all about Mason Media over there. What you got going on?
I'll before I get into my production company, which is the only Florida-based production company that focuses around pro wrestling, that Jordan Owens has moved out of the state. So let me just say this.
Right out of there.
To my own horn, I am the first one to be in Snowball, so first one that can be in there. So I'll be in Snowball for the end of the year for Full Metal. Secondly, I will be going to Minneapolis in 2 weeks to shoot or do something for the first pro wrestling event to take place in Malls of America since the first Nitro.
Oh, that's right. Y'all are doing like Saturday Nitro or something, right?
Saturday Night Nitro, co-sponsored by First Wrestling, Pepsi, and Malls of America.
The question is, will Lex Luger show up?
Lex Luger, you know what? Never say never.
Yeah, right.
He might show up in his white shirt again, just doing this.
Yeah. Just by
Pasta Mania, where Pasta Mania used to be. What else? Mesa Media 1. I'm focusing on a lot of projects. I'm doing hype video for John Moxley versus Effie for the GCW Heavyweight Championship happening at GCW Homecoming this Saturday. He's my boy. He's Effie. What else am I doing? I'm working on a video for a playlist. I'm working on so much stuff. It's hard to detail. But if you want, please come and look at this Twitter handle. That's my real Twitter handle at Mesa Media One, not my personal, but my production company one. If you need somebody to shoot, edit, or do both, holla at your boy, because your boy don't work cheap. But then again, I can help out. Just slide into my DMs and we'll work something out.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Sounds good.
What you got, Mr. Shepard?
Yeah.
Well, I actually have a blog that I haven't done anything with in a long time, but I'm thinking of going back and actually doing stuff with it. So it'll be movieman82us.blogspot.com.
Oh, nice.
Well, if you ever do, do like an underrated column, movies you want to champion or something, and we'll throw it up on the Shoutout Friends and Family page so people can read it. You know what I mean? Especially articles. We don't have a lot of people that do articles on the thing, or something. Blogs. It's a lot of videos. So if you ever want to do that, just throw it up there. We'll link it.
Bring back the old school, the retro.
Yeah, something to read. People need to do more reading. All of us movie guys watching movies.
We need to do more writing, I guess.
Yeah, more writing.
Yeah. Well, Austin?
Yeah, I'll just plug, for Richie, we're all part of the Lonely Marks podcast over here on the Movie Hero Network. We did our SummerSlam review last week. That was a lot of fun. Kind of talked about Ric Flair's last match as well. We'll be coming back, not this week, but next week because Jacob Barber's out of town. But the week after, we'll be talking about our personal top 5 of 2 categories, our past non-active wrestlers and current top 5 current wrestlers, as well as we'll be doing a retro review because Richie won the prediction contest for SummerSlam, and we're going to watch NWO Sold Out 1997, and we're going to review that. So it's a hell of a train wreck of a show, and it's going to be fun. So we'll be doing that. And then as far as me personally, me and Jacob just did record, before he went out of town, a podcast about movies, a new episode. We had some director blind spots, and just a little over an hour. A nice breezy watch. Check it out. We had a lot of fun over there.
Yeah. And as always, you can find us on all the social medias at Movie Hero 2121 on Twitter and Instagram. You can find us over in the Shoutout Friends and Family group, like I mentioned about the poll. I won't go over that, but you can find it over there on Facebook. And then I've been doing some snack heroes on the channel. I tried some kind of mediocre snacks last time because I've had a few. Some snacks that I love. I've had some snacks that were terrible. This one's kind of mediocre, so you can go check that out. I'm probably gonna maybe try to do one tomorrow or maybe Tuesday. We'll see how my schedule works out because I gotta get a new tire. I got a flat tire yesterday, so I'm gonna go deal with that tomorrow. But shouldn't take up too much time. But let's see. Oh, and then so me and Austin, we've been bringing back Podcast League Now, and we did an episode talking about our favorite character actors. So we did it last Friday. That's on the channel. And then we're gonna shoot for this Friday. We'll let you know for sure. But we're gonna be talking about our top 12 movie tropes, like the weird, annoying movie tropes that movies do that we don't like or like just annoy us for whatever reason, or like the movie pet peeves kind of list. So we'll be doing that, and then and then also we have a Patreon too. So we're doing a big Patreon push. So we have exclusive episodes over there that I can only find over there. So gotta sign up for the Patreon to see them, and then we also do some giveaways. We're giving away some of my one-sheet movie posters from my times working in the movie theater that are only ones you can get at the theaters, and then we've been giving away some guaranteed spots on some episodes, and we have some crazy tiers where if you sign up for one of the highest tier, you can create your own episode. You come up with the topic, you can pick whoever you want to be on the episode, and we'll do it right away. We won't won't waste any time. We'll just do it right away because you signed up for it. So yeah, I can go and you can check that out. So it's patreon.com/movie hero. So yeah, you can find it there. So, but just a little preview of some episodes that we have coming up. So Tuesday night we'll be doing a kind of fun and different one. We're doing best talk shows of all time to kind of switch it up a little bit. So we're talking about some daytime talk shows, some late night, even a few like British or Australian ones, some of those. So, and then we also have Yeah, Brian Nussbaum's top 128 movies of all time. He sent me his final list, his final. He sent me like multiple drafts of it, like at least 10 different times. But he finally got it narrowed down, so I'm gonna start working on that episode, getting it prepped. And then we have our top 200 movie franchises of all time, which we'll have to have a little talk off air. I'm struggling to get to 200, but we can kind of talk about that. But I'm close. I'm in like 185 territory, so I'm getting close. So we'll see. But and then we'll be doing my top 128 championships. So we did the part 1 and part 2, which we just got to get down to a championship. Then just the way the schedule works out, we're going to be doing our top 200 movie franchises of all time part 2 pretty quickly after the first one, because it's going to be a bit of a longer wait, because Austin and I we're going to be out of town in September, and then in October we want to focus a little more on some horror related stuff. So but that's we'll have those two just coming up in just a few episodes apart, and then we also have Austin's part 2 of his top 128 that's coming up. So, and
with some of those movies I mentioned tonight, I think on the second part.
The only thing to say, spoiler alert: no Lord of the Rings movies on that one. So,
Nope.
Right? Yeah. But and then also we're going to be doing best movies of 2019. We've been doing one a month, kind of working our way backwards. So we're on 2019, and it's a ladder series. So just to remind everyone, the Elite 8 will advance every time. So you have 8 movies coming from the previous tournament to face these ones to see if they can make it. Eventually, we want to get to the greatest movie of all time. So it's going to be a long series that'll bleed into next year, but it'll be a fun one. So yeah, but that's kind of where you can find us. Yeah, and I think that will do it for us tonight. So, and I also look forward to the Action Championship that'll be coming up around the end of September. So just watch for that. We'll be out of town near the end, so actually maybe like mid-September, more likely. So yeah, but anyways, yeah, that's fun. So for Malcolm, for Steve, for Steven, for Austin,
For
Richie, yep. I've been Jordan, the movie hero Anderson, and we will see you next time.